is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Gabe Neitzel, ESPN legend John Anderson, and former Packer Brian Bulaga. Here's Alex Strofe.
Go time, Sunday Night Football. Packers Cowboys is your Week 4 all eyes on us matchup as Micah Parsons returns to Dallas. And the Packers look for their third win of the season, coming off of a bad one last week. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Gabe Neitzel on assignment, Mr. Worldwide. He is on the all the other ESPN radio stations in the country right now. He just dipped out on us for this week. So myself, Alex Strofe, alongside ESPN's John Anderson, and Packers Super Bowl champion, former first-round pick, Brian Bulaga, with you until kickoff this afternoon. Fellas, good to be back with you, despite the fact that last week's game, Brian, certainly not a cakewalk.
Certainly not. Certainly not a cakewalk. Certainly not a cakewalk. But we're moving on, right? We're on to Dallas. And
very Belichickian of you, yes.
Yeah, we're moving on, and I think you as a team, you learn a lot from your first road trip, and I'm hoping that they learned a lot from their first road trip. You face adversity. I mean, albeit Cleveland on the road, there's probably a lot of Packers fans. There'll probably be a lot of Packers fans there tonight. Chances are,
I would guess so.
But you still have to go through certain things on the road, your first time on the road, and things that you're not used to. And they experienced those things, and they did not do a good job at them, right, offensively. And you looked at things most likely from a communication standpoint and going through adversity and how do you overcome that and push through it. And when things start to snowball, right, are you able to kind of, reverse the script? And they just weren't able to do that. And on the road, that you have to be able to do that, right? When it's at home, things are hunky-dory, right? Like, things are good. The crowd's behind you, the momentum, things are good. If you get a little, if things go a little poorly for you, the crowd and momentum, you can get those things to swing your way normally pretty easily. On the road, it's different. It's different. You really have to be able to pull yourself out of it as a team, and they just weren't able to do that. So here's another opportunity for them to show that they can do that. It's Dallas, from watching them over these first few weeks, I don't think CeeDee Lamb's going to play. That's their most dangerous player. So that's a big key. I don't know, is Kenny playing? I don't know if Kenny's going to play. He's playing?
He should go.
Okay,
we don't know that one yet. Yep.
Okay, so we don't know if Kenny's going to play or not. So you look at what they have to offer offensively. You should be able to get after that offense from a defensive standpoint, right? Like, you should be able to create your own momentum from a defense. And then offensively, right, it's going to be loud in there. We all know it's loud in there. You're going to have to quiet the crowd down, and there's no better way to do it than running the football and making it, have the Dallas defense play on your terms. And the terms that they don't want to play on is have to play run defense. They don't want to do that. Jerry claims it got better when they shipped Micah Parsons away. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, it makes no sense, because somehow Green Bay's run defense got better. It makes no sense.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Yep.
Micah Parsons comes to Green Bay and the run defense got better. Like, it boggles my mind. Maybe he and I don't watch the same tape. I don't know. Maybe we watch different tape. But all the less, it's a big test for Green Bay on prime time. So I'm excited to see how they do.
A good one tonight at AT&T Stadium. John Anderson of SportsCenter and Wipeout fame, the pride of Green Bay Southwest High School, with us as always, as he is for road games. John, a tough watch last week, but like Brian Belichick Bulaga just said, we are on to Dallas as we get ready for this one tonight. How you feeling ahead of Packers Cowboys?
Well, first off, I would just like to point out with Gabe gone, I think Bulaga and I, are the only people with perfect attendance through 2 years on this program. I don't know what the rest of you guys do, but we care enough to be here all the time, okay? Just so you know.
That's fair. It was week 3 last year when I was gallivanting through Nashville, and I missed that show. So
yeah, so just so you know, we're there. I am reminded of the immortal words former UWGB coach
Sonny Wicks.
Sonny Wicks, when he said, "You can lose a game, don't lose the lessons." And so I am hoping that is what comes out of this, is that they remember, where the shortcomings were, because I think the game was so eminently winnable. One of the lessons is you can win a football game for 56 minutes, but you got to win it for all 60, and you can lose it in 4 if you start jacking around and get loose with it, which is what happened. So I think they're another situation where they're a better team. The home crowd, oddly enough, I think is just as formidable. Cleveland's a tough place. Those people bark and go crazy for their team, and stay in it to the end. Like the Cowboy fans, I think they'll give up. If it doesn't go their way, the Cowboy fans will get quiet in a hurry.
Yes.
Things that concern me is Dak always seems to get himself into a one-possession game late, no matter what it is. Down 40, or if it's 3-3 the whole game, somehow he always ends up with the ball late and a possession and a chance to tie it. So that, I think, is, it should be one of those where we got to be in for all 60 minutes again, or it'll get sideways on you. But and with Brian, like, there's a lot of stuff that, and since it's so early, right, I'm sure LaFleur's like, great, I got all kinds of teaching points, I get their attention and all that other good stuff. I'd still rather have that off a win than a loss, but sometimes maybe that's what it takes to get them moving. What I'm curious about, and this, I'm just going to ask Brian this straight out, because as fans, it lingers with us, right? We sit and we watch, and like, oh, we got to have that. But you guys literally do have to get on the next game. And I'm curious how it is that you do that, how you do flush it and you come in and, boy, whether it's Monday or Tuesday off and you start on Wednesday. Because, like, I'm still lamenting this play and that play. And if I was a player, that'd be horrible, right? Because I can't just – it's like the golfer who doesn't let the shot go. That's me. I'm still mad about a shot I missed last summer in Cooperstown that's bothering me. And can't go on. How is it you guys, how is it you guys learn, and I guess being a professional is where it starts, but how do you learn to let that go? And now we really are on to Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that, like, in college it's different, right? I mean, I think when you're a certain level college player, and you have bad plays, so to speak, but you don't really have bad games, right? When you're a certain level of a college player that moves on to the next level, there's not really bad games. You may have a bad play here or there, right? But for the most part, you're taking care of business as a player. When you get to this level, you're going to have bad games. It's guaranteed. Like, it's guaranteed there's going to be bad games. And if you let things linger, right? If you let bad games linger and continue to think about that, it's going to repeat. It's going to repeat. It's going to repeat. And it's going to repeat. And I think the best way, I mean, I learned from it is literally, like, watching what went wrong. Like, you have to address it first, right? Like, that's the way I always looked at it. Like, Monday is you address it head on. You watch it, as ugly as it may be, as much as it's not fun. It's not fun to look at it. It's ugly. It's like, whatever bad play you had or series of bad play like you had are coming up, you put your head down, you're like, here it comes. Like, and you watch it, right? But, like, that's the way. It's kind of like I don't even know how to put it, but, like, that's the kind of the way you, like, purify yourself from it. Like, you watch it and that's how you move on. Like, if you don't watch it and if you don't see yourself make those mistakes and learn from it, you can't move on from it, right? Like, that's the way that's how guys address it and are able to kind of just go on to the next week, because we watch this stuff head on, we talk about it, we correct it, and we have to just kind of learn from it and go on to the next one. Because, like, if we didn't watch it, right, and maybe, kind of, we knew we made the mistake, but we didn't really watch it, and Jason or Rob came up and talked to us about it at our locker after the game or on Monday or Tuesday, and we kind of just hemmed and hawed with them about it, but we didn't watch it ourselves, then you're not really addressing the issue, right? Like, you're not really you're not even, and it's hard to get over. But when you watch it and you see what you did wrong and you're able to kind of go through that, that's how you're able to get over bad situations, bad games, bad plays, and learn from it and move on. And I think that's how the best pros are able to do it too, because they learn from it, right? And they take from it. And to me, that's how I was taught too, from high level guys, like Tausch and Cliff and Sitton and those guys. That's how I learned kind of how to move on from it.
John Anderson, Brian Bulaga, Alex Strofe with the Green Bay Game Day. 4 games in action right now. The Colts were 3-0 up on the Rams 10-6. Jaguars up big-ish on the 49ers with about 4 minutes to go in the first half, 14-3. Ravens, Chiefs. Ravens lead by a point. That's 7-6. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter there. And the Raiders lead the Bears, who just converted a 4th and 1 in their own territory. But Raiders up 7-3 in that one. We've got plenty to get to on Green Bay Game Day today. Rob Demovsky will join us in about 20 minutes from AT&T Stadium ahead of Packers Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. We will go 4 wide, not 5 wide, in the 5 o'clock hour as Jason Wilde joins us from his home studio ahead of this one. But coming up next, we got to talk about some of the injuries going on, especially on the Packers offensive line. We will get Brian Bulaga's take on how the heck the Packers offensive line survives to see another day and hopefully another win ahead of next week's bye week. We will dive into that coming up next. But first, Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason, distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's is known for great vodka, giving back and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. We talk offensive line with one of the best, Brian Bulaga and John Anderson. Coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. Even though it's not the season of giving, we still want to thank Jerry for his gift.
His Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out. He's got him. His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
Get all your green and gold coverage leading up to Packers versus Cowboys on Sunday Night Football right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Micah.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine Specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit oawspinecenter.com.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get the beat of the Bucs straight from a fan favorite and Bucs legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucs Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to ESPN Radio's Evan Cohen. Find Here District now on Bucs.com/plus, the Bucs app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's Jen Latta, and I just had my walk-in closet redesigned by Closets by Design. Doug and his team in Mequon were amazing, from the first consultation to the final install, and now I have a beautiful, organized space for all of my clothes. They really brought my vision to life. Locally owned with the backing of a trusted national brand, they deliver expert design with a personal touch. Get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, and take advantage of 18-month free financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BUY-DESIGN, and don't forget to tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousins Subs. Enjoy them with your favorite dipping sauce, or try them in one of our 2 new subs, Classic Crispy Chicken or Bold Buffalo Ranch Crispy Chicken. Both served on our fresh baked bread, made with quality you can taste. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Away we go. Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strofe with you from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. ESPN's John Anderson is here. The professor. And the doctor of football, according to Homer, is the Packers Super Bowl champion, Brian Bulaga, who is here as well. And Brian, look, I know you've been retired for a few years, officially for over a year now. The Packers really need a right tackle because they will be without both Zach Tom and Anthony Belton tonight. And at left guard, it sounds like Aaron Banks likely not going to play either. He is listed as doubtful with that groin injury. So I don't know if you're in football shape or not, but the Packers might need your services tonight because it is thin on that offensive line.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I'm not. I'm in no way, shape, or form ready to play football.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, no, I'm not ready to go. Yeah, I'm not ready to go. That's what I'm very interested to find out is what mix and match we're going to get tonight. That is the thing. You know, you get a guy. I mean, I think Belton got hurt on Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Thursday's practice with an ankle.
Yeah, so you get a guy hurt on Thursday. That's late in the week. That's very late in the week. I mean, that's like I've always said in game planning situations, that's essentially everything's in, right? I mean, Fridays you're kind of wrap everything up, put a bow on it, jog through. So Thursday to get an injury that late, it kind of throws a wrench in things. And now here you go. Now you're back to the drawing board. Someone's got to start taking reps on Friday to get comfortable at right tackle. That wasn't taking reps all week. It's a scramble again. So I'm very interested to see what they do and who starts there. I would assume it's Kennard, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
based on
Real quick, Brian, just on the Kennard thing, because that one's thrown me off, and I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that. Because when Zach Tom went down in the opener against Detroit, that's who they went to, Darian Kennard, who they traded for at the end of the preseason from Philadelphia in exchange for a 6th-round pick. They threw him in there at right tackle, and then they haven't gone back to him. They played Jordan Morgan there, they've played Anthony Belton there, and they haven't gone back to Darian Kennard. I don't evaluate line play quite to the level that you do, and that's probably an understatement. But I thought he was fine in that Detroit game, and now they pretty much are forced to go back to him tonight because he's one of their only options who can play right tackle. But I'm just confused why they haven't gone back to him since week 1.
Yeah, I don't know. He, to me, by all means, seeing the limited amount of snaps that we saw from him against Detroit, I thought he played well. Obviously, he's very limited in the scheme from, him getting traded and getting brought in, and obviously didn't have a bunch of reps. And I thought he performed well. He stepped in. He played well. He looked the part. Thought he was physical. He looked good in pass pro. He looked comfortable. And then haven't seen him since. So I don't know what's taken place since then. And then what happened in Cleveland when Zach Tom went down, and then Jordan Morgan went in. I don't know what's going on at practice and how those things are, like how the reps are getting broken up, right? Like that's the thing you don't know, and we're not supposed to know, right? But we kind of see how things are getting divvied up based on who's getting put out there when guys get injured.
Yeah.
But today will be very telling, right, about if Jordan Morgan gets put out there, right? Like this is going to be very interesting if he's the guy that goes out there and it's not Kennard, because I just don't know if Jordan Morgan is the guy you want out there at right tackle. Like I just don't know if he's a right tackle. Yeah, I just don't think he's a right tackle. You tried it against Cleveland. Now Dallas doesn't have a Myles Garrett, right? Like that's not who they have. But again, it's still not a great environment to put a guy that doesn't play that position out there to do it. It's Sunday Night Football. It's a loud environment. Like Dallas does have pass rushers. They do got guys that can rip off the edge and go get the quarterback. And I would put a guy that plays tackle at tackle. Like, right? Like Jordan Morgan's taking mostly guard reps. Like that's where I would put him. I would be putting him at left guard. You have to put him at left guard because Banks is out. So you have to put him at left guard. If you put him at right tackle, who are you putting at left guard? Like that's kind of like the situation that we're in right now, right? So like, so that's what I'll be very interested to see how they do this.
So that's the question I have watching you, Brian, both as taking it both from an individual standpoint that you have and then the collective. Is it easier to, hey, we are missing right tackle, insert guy who's a right tackle, or do you go for the shuffling around guys and now we're moving, we're instead of to cover one open spot, sometimes we juggle three guys. Which of those is preferable?
I do not like mixing. I don't like moving multiple guys to try to fill a void, right? Like if we can like we lose a right tackle and we can plug a tackle right away, like that's what like that's always to me the best case scenario, right? Like then you don't interrupt anybody else, right? It's just one position that if there's an injury or something happens, one guy leaves, one guy goes in and no one else gets moved around, right? And then you're not, no one else is working next to somebody new and the communication stays the same with everybody else. And then if you want to make changes, you do that next week in practice, right? Like you make those changes during the week in practice. So guys have a whole week to work next to each other and figure that out and get all that figured out. But like within a game, like I just like it just becomes too much of a shuffle. And we saw that against Cleveland. Like it became it looked the way it looked because obviously Cleveland's got a good defense, but you're moving guys all over the place. It's never going to go well. It won't.
No, and it didn't last week. Hopefully it goes a little bit better today, as you just mentioned, Brian. Dallas Cowboys do not have a Myles Garrett. They are the worst defense in the league through 3 weeks. They've allowed the most yards, the most points of anybody through 3 weeks in the NFL. So, John, does that give you a little bit like more optimism, more positivity since you're playing a bad defense off of a loss against a good defense a week ago?
A little. Like I would much rather play against a group that doesn't appear to be as formidable than I would against a bunch of sharks up on the front seven. So yeah, that's the obvious way. But like I wonder, like at some point, do you go, okay, we love Jenkins, he's going to be a great center, but like maybe we can't afford to have him sit there anymore, and it's easier to cover that position than it is somebody else. But I know what it is to as Brian said, you got to move guys around, and this guy makes the call, and who's next to you. But yeah, I think that I would always much rather go against a squad that is lesser than is stronger. So I think that helps. But I don't think in this case, right, when your goal is to how do we impose our will in running the football, like that's got to start with those guys up front. And if they can't get it done, then where are you going next? And that's always troubling. And it brings me one of my favorite points that maybe I've brought it up before, right? Like you listen to coaches and they talk to you on Tuesday and Wednesday, like there's no way, Alex, since you and I did not play, that we can understand how how football works. Like it's the most. We could sooner put a man on the moon, you and I, than we could understand the load schemes of the defense. And then at the end of the game on Saturday, win or lose, what do they say? Dude, it's just blocking and tackling. If you can't do those things, you can't win. It's been that way since Pop Warner. I'm like, okay, which is it? Are we talking nuclear physics or are we talking Pop Warner? It's one of those two things.
Yeah.
And I tend to think it's the Pop Warner, right? I tend to think that in the end, if you can maul the guy in front of you, that's really all it takes. I don't need a lot of fancy plays. Great. You got a bunch of motion so I can see what the secondary is doing. But if I just line up and just plow people with Josh Jacobs, let's do that. And I think the current is patchwork a nice way to say it, of the offensive line makes that more difficult. And of all things, I would like to have that, like I think if we've seen that before, if you can have those 5 guys and they can play, you're never out of a game. You can shorten games. You can do what you want on those kind of things. And so that's what troubles me, is that I don't know at any point they can just impose their will on the Cowboys, even with their defense statistically being a bunch of plumbers.
It's about the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's, right? Isn't that what they say? Did I get that phrase right?
Or the Bryans.
Yeah.
Or the Bryans. Yeah. Or the Bryans. Yeah. Bryans are pretty good, too. You mentioned Josh Jacobs, and real quick, I know we've got to get to a break and get to Rob Domofsky, but it's been hard for Josh Jacobs to get going through the first 3 weeks. And obviously the patchwork, if you will, on the offensive line has not been to Josh Jacobs' advantage. But, man, he has just struggled to get going through 3 weeks. Hopefully tonight is a better opportunity for him to really hit the ground running, because I don't necessarily know if it's even his fault. He's got, no time. He's hitting contact as soon as he's getting the football, it seems, through the first 3 weeks. But we have just not had that's Josh Jacobs game like I feel like we had so many times a year ago.
Yeah, I think he's at 130 yards through 3 games.
I think he's at 180.
Like
I think it's 60 per game. But again, they were
180 yards, and 206 of them are after contact. That's how bad it's
literally.
Been.
Yeah, it's not good one way or another. So there's a lot to it, right? And part of it is, there's a lot of moving pieces up front, right? You lose Zach Tom right off the get, essentially, against, Detroit. He goes down, in the third quarter, I think, of Detroit. And then here we go, right? We start moving guys around, and backup offensive linemen start coming in. I'm not saying backups can't do the job, right? I'm not saying those guys are expected to do the job, but in all reality, they're not going to do it as good as, say, Zach Tomlin, right? And then Banks, he's out as well. So now you're playing with 2 backup linemen. Now you're down to your 7th lineman, right? Not it wears, right? And it obviously impacts the run game a lot. It obviously hurts the pass game, but we've seen the pass game be productive, right? There's ways you can scheme things and slide protections and thumb protect and do things to cover things up to give extra time. But the run game, there's no way to do that. It's like John said, it's your mano-a-mano. It's you versus D linemen and who can move bodies. And if you can't move bodies, right, Jacobs is being impacted by that. He's he's the guy that is running into D linemen or is getting a yard into the line of scrimmage and is being contacted immediately, or linebackers are roaming free and getting downhill, and there's no place to run. So that has been an issue, right? It's not always the offensive line. It's not always them, right? There's other factors within, things, there's tight ends, there's receivers, crack blocking. There's a lot of different things that, help out a run game. But yeah, I'll always say the run game starts up front. That's where it always starts. And, they got to be better up front to get him going. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about that. Brian Bulaga, John Anderson, Alex Stroff with you on Green Bay Game Day. Our buddy Rob Domofsky will join us coming up next. But first, it wouldn't be Wisconsin football without brats on the grill and Coop's mustard on top. Coop's is part of our game day tradition here at GKB, from classic yellow to spicy brown to honey Dijon, which is one of my favorites. Arizona Heat, one of my other favorites from Coop's. They bring the flavor always. Coop mustard. Spreading the love since 1897. Rob Domofsky joins us from AT&T Stadium. Coming up next right here on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Listen to WTMJ as the Brewers make their charge to the postseason. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin and featured by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Best Marquette games ever, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Best of the best, easy. National Championship game, 1977. Beat North Carolina 67-59 because 14 of 15 from the free throw line in the final 2 minutes in 8 1-and-1 situations. Back then, no getting 10 fouls and 2 automatic free throws. 8 1-and-1s, missed the first free throw once, and 14 of 14 in the other 7 1-and-1s. Oh, baby! National champs forever. If you're a company owner offering medical insurance for your employees, you may be sick and tired of the constant increase in rates or change in benefits. Now's the time to take a look at a different type of plan. At Saganiac Planning, it's called level funding, an opportunity to keep premiums low and possibly receive a return of your premiums. For more on level funding, call Jack Saganiac, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Make every day extraordinary with something special from Wisconsin. From artisan cheeses to fresh produce to maple syrup, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection's Something Special from Wisconsin program is proud to work with member businesses that certify their Wisconsin-made and processed products. Look for the red and yellow sticker and visit somethingspecialfromwisconsin.com to find member businesses and products made with care, quality, and love. Sponsored by Wisconsin DATCP.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Rob Domofsky time on Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, ESPN's John Anderson, and the Super Bowl champion Brian Balaga with you. Good afternoon, Rob.
Trophy, how are you?
I'm lovely. How are you at AT&T Stadium, where you've covered exclusively wins, if I'm not mistaken, since that stadium opened?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that pulling in. The last time I think I saw the Packers lose in Dallas was the Rodgers Thursday night game over at Old Texas Stadium, where he came back and almost rallied the Packers coming off the bench. I will say that I'm currently outside the Packers locker room, where I'm doing what I'm sure that we all in this business went to journalism school for, is that standing outside with my phone trying to take video of Micah Parsons arriving. I don't remember what class number that was at Ohio U in the EW Script School of Journalism, but maybe John can tell you what it was at Missouri. I say that sarcastically. This is not what I went to journalism school for.
It's an upper level course. It's totally a senior thing, though, dude. We can't trust a freshman with this.
I never made it, I guess.
I would say this is high-level journalism. You know, you have to get the outfit report. What's he wearing? Is there any hidden meanings in his shirt or his pants today as he shows up? Right?
Yeah. Well, so if I have to cut this segment short, you know why. But currently, there's no the last bus. He must be on the last bus. He's not here yet. But I mean, in all seriousness, guys, this is obviously a big. I mean, there's more Dallas media down here waiting outside the Packers locker room than anything else. So I mean, it's obviously a huge story for them. I mean, it's sort of like we've had a month of Micah, so, you know, we're sort of used to it, and they haven't had it for a month, and they need it. So that's kind of a funny little side note to the pregame here.
What's he said this week leading up to his return?
Say that again, Alex?
What has he told you guys, Micah Parsons, this week leading up to his return to Dallas?
What we've learned about Micah so far is that he loves to talk, and that sometimes when he gets talking, it's a little bit like Brett back in the days, where if he talks long enough, he'll give you both sides of the answer, like one side or the other. Like it was like, you know, I'm just trying to make it any other game. You know, I'm just trying to treat it that way. And then, you know, halfway through the press conference or the session with him, he's talking about how Jerry hadn't talked to Jerry since OTAs, and they wouldn't take my suite back. And so clearly he's human, right? I mean, like he's got to have a little bit of want to, you know, stick it to these guys for. I'm sure he feels like he was mistreated. I mean, like the whole funny thing was about they're not going to do a tribute video. Do you feel disrespected by that? He goes, I feel disrespected by a lot of things. That's like not on the list, though. You know.
Wait, so they made him pay for a suite this year?
So, yeah, I mean, so Brian, you never bought your own suite at Lambeau for the whole season at Lambeau? That wasn't something you did?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I did.
Okay, well, so I don't know how many players actually do that. You'd know better than me, but yeah, Micah paid a pretty penny. I'm guessing those suites go for anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 for the season, and you got to pay that. I'm sure it's just like season ticket holders. There's a deadline, and Micah bought his suite for the season here at Texas Stadium, and apparently he asked for a refund on it, and they did not give it to him. So I don't know who uses that suite the other 7 home games, but at least today, Micah said it's going to be full.
Wow. Wow. That's cold, man. That's cold.
You'd think they'd make an exception. I understand it's probably in the contract, there's no cancellation, but you'd think they'd make an exception in this case.
Yeah, you would think, but you know, personally, like I would do it just because knowing he's on the schedule. Like I wouldn't want to poke the bear any more than that. You know, like if he wasn't on the Cowboys schedule, yeah, maybe sure stick it to him. But and you don't think that somebody else would buy that suite? Although I guess he asked Kenny Clark if he wanted it, and Kenny said, "Nah, man, that's too pricey for me."
Oh, I was just about to suggest Kenny Clark could take over the lease on that suite for the year. Yeah.
Apparently, Kenny said, "I'm not spending $500,000."
Yeah, I'm with you. You figure there'd be somebody lined up to take it just so they can say we have Micah Parsons' suite.
Totally, yeah.
There's enough credit card millionaires down there in Dallas willing to part with money they don't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No doubt.
Rob, what was the first game you were there for? What was the first game you covered down in Dallas with the Packers?
Oh, it was – I don't remember the year or the game, and the only thing I remember about it is there was a Shania Twain concert after the game, and we were down in the locker room, you know, or by the locker room at the Old Texas Stadium. And as you guys know, I am not a tall man, but Shania Twain is short. I mean, like that's what I remember about that first Cowboys-Packers game I covered is how short Shania Twain was. I don't remember what year that was, though.
Rob, what is the musical chairs of offensive line looking like tonight? What is it looking like tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to probably be from left to right, Rasheed Walker, Jordan Morgan at left guard, Elton Jenkins at center, Sean Ryan at right guard, and Darian Kennard at right tackle. Belton is obviously out, Zach Tom's out, and Aaron Banks. There's no way he plays. He didn't practice all week and was listed as doubtful. I didn't even know they use doubtful anymore. Usually it's just questionable or out. But I would think that's the way they would go. Brian, they signed Brant Banks. I should know this from the practice squad earlier in the week. And then they elevated Lacita Smith. They have Donovan Jennings. So that's 8 offensive linemen. I'm trying to think if there's a ninth that I'm missing. But it's, the starting 5 will be fine. But as we've seen lately, you need more than 5. And, they're back to Kennard at right tackle. But that's really right tackle number 3 at this point because Belton would have been the guy to replace Zach Tom, but he got hurt in practice on Wednesday. So, they started the week preparing for Anthony Belton to be the right tackle. So now, they're having to change that on the fly. So it's been a challenging month for the offensive line, and it did not get any easier this week. This line, if there's any position group that needs the bye week, it's the offensive line group because none of those injuries are long-term, like IR type things where you'd miss a month, but they need it. I think most players would probably say this is too early for the bye. Those guys on the offensive line would say this is probably good for them.
All right, a couple things to clean up real quick. It is Brant Banks, who also played basketball at Nebraska for a moment a couple seasons ago when the basketball team got cleaned out with injuries and they had football players come over. Brant Banks was one of those members, and I know you as the college hoops fanatic you are, Rob, would enjoy that little nugget. November 14th, 1999, the Cowboys beat the Packers 27-13 at Texas Stadium, which then followed Shania Twain, Come On Over post-game.
Thank you. Thank you. Now,
Jason Garrett with 2 touchdown passes in that game.
Okay. In the 97 season, I believe they put the Cowboys. That was my first season covering the Packers. I remember getting here after they won the Super Bowl in 96, and by here I mean Green Bay. But the whole narrative was they could never beat the Cowboys in 94, 95 playoffs, and then on the way to the Super Bowl, right, they didn't have to beat the Cowboys, so they were either not in or got knocked out. So this, I think it was the 97 regular season is like this, maybe it's 98, this big revenge game against the Cowboys that they're finally going to beat them, and they just drilled them, like 45-17 or something like that. That's the first Cowboys-Packers game of any kind that I covered. You'd have to, if you're scrolling through the media guide, Alex, you have to check me on that one, but that's sort of what I remember.
I can work on that, but George Teague with a 95-yard interception pick 6 off Brett Favre in that game in 97, and I can already see the nightmares on John Anderson's face as I bring up a Brett Favre pick 6.
No, I'm trying to go back. I was at the when I worked in Oklahoma, I was there on Thanksgiving Day, the one where Jason Garrett beat us.
Oh, yeah. The relief. He came in relief, right?
Yeah, and just thumped them.
Well, Jason Garrett won this game as well, so apparently he has a few wins over the Packers.
Oh, man.
As a player.
What was the date on that?
Not as a coach.
Not as a coach. November 14th, 97, I'm looking at.
Okay, maybe that was it. I was thinking it might have been 96. I was thinking it was 96-ish, but 95-6.
Excuse me, this is 99. I'm sorry. 97 was the one I was referring to.
All right, 97. We came in on Thanksgiving, did it too.
We're all thrown off with our dates.
We should worry about the game they're playing tonight.
I don't know. I kind of like reminiscing on 1999. Rob wouldn't have to shoot Micah Parsons on his cell phone in 1999 if that was the case.
I don't know if I had a cell phone. I'm sure I must have.
Yeah, fair. All right, couple things before we let you go, Rob. Number one, we were talking a little bit before you hopped on with us about Josh Jacobs and how it just hasn't really been a great go for him. Not necessarily his fault. Obviously, the offensive line has something to do with that. But how does he get going tonight against a not-so-great defense in Dallas?
I think the best couple of things about Josh Jacobs so far is, one, his attitude has been tremendous. You could see star players, and I think we're safe in calling him a star, right? We agree on that?
Yes.
I think you've seen star players that maybe, when their production is down or whatever, they the attitude changes. This guy is I mean, he's on the sideline, up and down, getting guys fired up. He's speaking well of his offensive line. He's not throwing anybody under the bus. And I think that's a really good sign. I mean, I would think as a teammate, that's a guy that you would almost really want to help get going, just because of that, if for no other reason. And two, knock on wood, he's been healthy, even though he hasn't had the numbers. At least he's not banged up. At least he's not on the injury report. So I do think that, there are some reasons to think, plus the fact that you mentioned Dallas's defense is one of the bottom defenses in the league, would make you think that this would be a night where we could see a 18 carry, 110 yard, 1 touchdown game for Josh Jacobs.
Rob, before we let you go, as always, last thing: how do we see Sunday Night Football playing out tonight? And we'll let you get to recording Micah Parsons.
Well, I mean, I was wrong last week for the first time, right? Because I thought they'd handle the Browns pretty easily, but I think
we were all
I think
wrong.
Everybody, yes, okay, right. That's my point. So I think I get a pass on that one. I do think that it won't be as easy as you'd like it to be, because these games, especially on the road, are rarely easy. This is going to be a highly charged environment, but I do think that they do get the ground game going. They take advantage of Dallas's defense, and I think they come up with a nice win, not necessarily a blowout, but a nice win going into the bye next week. And it's like I said, it's an early bye, but I guess you have to take them when they come, and you'd love to have it, going in there 3-1 and feeling pretty good about yourself.
No doubt. I've convinced myself the bye is at the perfect time, as I think I do every year, no matter when it is. But I've convinced myself that a Week 5 bye is exactly what this team needed.
It's the perfect bye for someone. Like no matter when the bye is, it's going to be good for someone. I don't think it's great for me, because that means 17 more weeks in a row. Or whatever, going into the playoffs, if they make a long run, that's a long stretch without a break. But yeah, I mean, you can justify it that it's the right time for someone.
You'll get that week off before the Super Bowl too, so you've got that coming in late January.
Oh yeah, because they won't make us work it all that week.
Yeah, no,
I won't have to do anything that week.
Light week for you.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get the bye week at the beginning of the playoffs, and then the week before the Super Bowl. I'll be good,
Yeah.
and you get like Thanksgiving weekend off. You'll be fine.
Sounds great. That's going to be great. I'm gearing up for it.
All right, buddy. Appreciate the time as always, Rob. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right. Have a great night.
Packers, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football at AT&T Stadium. Not our buddy Rob Domofsky from ESPN. You can read him, ESPN.com. You see him all over SportsCenter, NFL Live, and all the in-betweens on ESPN. Hey, Brats, Coolers, friends, you've got it all, but rolling into the tailgate with a clean car, that is the real MVP move. Keep it spotless with the Tsunami Express Car Wash membership. With 13 locations and growing, it's easy to swing through on your way to the action. Tsunami Express, wash, chill, repeat. We need to make a I need a hero pick, which might be more of a conversation ahead of this one. Who's going to be the hero for the Packers against the worst defense in the league? I think we got some options. We will tell you our network health hero on the other side. Alex Struff, John Anderson, Brian Bulaga with you. It's Green Bay Game Day on ESPN Wisconsin.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Outfit your crew. Your workforce is your brand. From uniforms to safety apparel, Alpha Custom Apparel helps you outfit your team with gear that looks sharp and works hard. We create durable, functional apparel that keeps your crew comfortable and confident on the job. No more digging through endless catalogs. We handle the details so you can focus on running your business. With fast turnaround, custom options, and friendly Midwest service, we make it easy to keep your team looking their best. Visit alphacustomapparel.com. Let's get to work.
This football season is all about making the right calls, and with Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, like Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, etc. And if you're right, you can cash in. I love how quick and easy it is. You can make your lineup in under a minute. I've done it. Like right now. I can do it right now. And enjoy fast, secure withdrawals with Venmo, Apple Pay, and more. Plus, with injury reboots and the flex play option, your lineup has even more ways to win.
Download the app today. That's Prize Picks in your app store and use the code GKB. That's code GKB and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. $50 for 5. Great deal. Again, that's Prize Picks. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections and you can get paid with code GKB at signup. I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Yeah, it is.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. So the big, beautiful bill is now law. How does the new law affect individuals? For starters, the current tax rates topping out at 37% are made permanent. Taxpayers age 65 or older get an extra $6,000 deduction, but with a phase-out. Social Security is still taxable as it has been. You heard me. Social Security is still taxable, depending on your income. Individuals may deduct up to $25,000 in qualified tip income. Up to $12,500 of the premium for overtime pay is deductible. Of course, there are restrictions. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you are affected by these and other provisions of the new law. Don't be surprised on April 15th. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin with you, ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Ruff, John Anderson, Brian Bulaga leading you up to kickoff between the Packers and the Cowboys. First Sunday night football game of the year for the Packers here in week number 4 ahead of next week's bye week. Some scores in the NFL. 4 games going on right now. Just reached halftime in Las Vegas, and the Raiders are on top of the Bears. It is 14-9 in that one. Ashton Jeanty, both of the Raiders touchdowns for the rookie running back, as they have a 5-point lead on the Bears at the half. Second half just underway in 2 different games out in L.A. The Rams lead the Colts after a 10-point second quarter. 13-10 in that one for the 3-0 Colts and the 2-1 Rams. In San Francisco, it's all Jaguars, 17-6, just beginning the third quarter there. An 11-point lead for Jacksonville at 2-1. Niners are undefeated through 3 weeks, 3-0, looking to avoid their first loss this season here with an 11-point deficit to the Jaguars. And in Kansas City, nearing halftime in that one, the Chiefs lead the Ravens 20-7. The Ravens looking to avoid a 1-3 start, now facing a 13-point deficit just ahead of halftime in that one. Hey, it's time now for us to pick our hero of the game, which is presented by Network Health. Network Health honored to serve many veteran members, and they're also proud to count veterans among their employees because they're based right here in Wisconsin. They are able to develop health plans specifically with their veterans in mind. All right, I don't want to get ahead of myself like I did last week. Okay, that's what I'm going to lead with.
Why did you get ahead of yourself last week? I don't remember.
I may or may not have said it should be likely a cakewalk in that one.
Cakewalk, yeah, got it. Yep.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the show. So I'm going to try to avoid that one here, so Brian doesn't have to lecture me again like he did last week very eloquently. I do know, though, I'm just going to state a fact. The Cowboys.
What do you know?
The Cowboys through 3 weeks have the worst defense in the National Football League, which allows for a perfect opportunity for a get-right game for this Packers offense. Okay, I'm stating facts, so I'm not ahead of myself, right?
You're
I'm
always on the get-right game. You are always.
After losses, I am, yeah.
Everything's a get-right game.
I like a good get-right game. Are you telling me this isn't? Are you telling me this isn't a get-right game?
Always a get-right game, no matter what.
I'm saying, how wrong were they? Like you've got them all completely out of focus. They got to get right. Like, they just know. They played stupid last week for the last 4 minutes.
That's not fair. That's the first time I've called it a get-right game this season.
All right, number one this season.
You had one opportunity, so you're batting 1,000.
Yep, that's true. All right, we're keeping tabs.
Yeah, I understand. I can't win with you two, man. I don't know who made the decision to put you two together, but you are the Alex Strofe accountability team on this show, which is probably not a bad thing. So anyway, get right game for the Packers offense against this Cowboys defense. Yep. Not very good. I think we could pick anybody on the offense and we could be proven correct for our hero of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
Who needs, to use the term get right game again, who needs a get right game the most? Is it Jacobs or is it Love?
You know, I think it's Love.
Okay.
I think it's Love. I think he needs, I mean, listen, it's not that I don't think he lost any confidence or anything like that, but I just think to get that yuck of what happened at the end of the game, just get that out of his head and get that out of the atmosphere, right? Get that out of his atmosphere of football, everything, to have a great performance tonight. So that's who I'm going to say is Jordan Love, just to be our guy tonight, right? Like, start this thing off strong, get the team going, and then obviously towards the end of it, just turn around and let number 8 do the rest.
I like it. John?
Well, first off, can I just say, in giving the scores, you left out the most important one, which is the Brewers winning 4-2 and clinching the best record in baseball in the National League.
Win 97 for the Brewers
Needed
just a moment ago. Yep.
I'll be honest, if you noticed every once in a while I'm glancing, it was just me trying to count outs till we got that sucker taken care of. So now we can move on to whatever.
And we forgot to talk about the Victor Hovland, my neck's hurt, so we get a half a point, and then we lose. Then the Europeans win. I mean, that's a later topic to discuss. But sorry, but yeah.
I'm glad you got that off your chest. Off your chest.
I needed to, because I don't know if that rule was created when the Ryder Cup started, but it's a garbage rule.
What a dumb rule. Dumb rule.
In the spirit of golf, it's been that way forever. Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, sure.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lions Joe?
We've been
what's going on over
for
there,
10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store.
Let's just talk over these people.
I think that worked.
Better on radio than 4 people talking at once.
That was good. No, I lost John. I lost Brian, but we are working through some technical difficulties. All right, we're back.
All right, you got us?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Lion's tail.
And by the way, I want to know, in football terms, how bad the sore neck is. If he took 2 Advil and, I can't go, I
mean, I have a bulging disc. Hey, get out there and go play. Go play.
You're just swinging a club, bro. That's it.
Dude, you got to go play 18 holes. Go play golf.
Yeah, but they're walking.
Yeah, that's true. No cart. No cart.
All right, so what we have determined is Victor Hovland not the hero of the game for Packers
I'm going
Cowboys.
to stay with, much like you in your get-back game, I'm going to stay with Josh Jacobs till the end, because I just feel like if he's right, everything else goes right from there.
Yep.
He makes much like Micah Parsons makes everybody's life easier on defense.
Bingo.
When Jacobs can run and run effectively, he makes everybody else's life easier. So I figure he's in the hero position to make everybody look good. And so I would like him to do it again. I need him to be him or be that guy or whatever the kids are saying these days. But I think he runs so much of that offense is just if they can just establish him just enough so that maybe, and Brian went into a little bit about why the play action isn't always more effective with him, but just you can just do so many things happen in offense. It's kind of like it's like why 2nd and 2 is such a great down, and that's what Josh Jacobs is, right? Like if he's just putting you in 2nd and 3 and 2nd and 2, the whole world is better. The blue of the sky is brighter, and the green of the grass is greener, and all those other things.
Rob Demovsky has gotten his arrival video on Twitter at Rob Demovsky of Micah Parsons, who has shown up to AT&T Stadium in a full suit and tie. It is all business for the former Cowboy, Micah Parsons, as he arrives to the stadium he used to call home up until just over a month ago when he was traded to the Green Bay Packers. Big one tonight in the Big D. It is Packers-Cowboys Sunday Night Football, and our buddy Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, will join us for the full next hour to preview this one between the Packers and the Cowboys. That is next. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
At Heart of Canal Street, for over 30 years, our hearts have been set on making a difference for children in our community. Now through December 10th, we invite you to share your heart by playing the Canal Street Bingo game at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Every time you play this special bingo game, you're helping to raise funds for children's charities in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Cold plunges, better sleep, a gym buddy. How do you know what has the biggest impact for an active body and mind? With BetterHelp, you can talk with real, qualified therapists, not AI. With a 4.9-star rating, BetterHelp understands mental wellness shouldn't be tougher than a workout. Their therapists can figure out what's best for you. And yeah, It might involve a cold plunge. Visit BetterHelp.com, code TIMEOUT for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com, code TIMEOUT.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. It's finally game day.
6, good protection, pass wide open, making the catch and getting into Washington territory. Tucker Kraft pulls his way down to the 20-yard line.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
What's the fake? Pass caught, touchdown, Green Bay, Romeo Dobbs.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Gabe Neitzel, Jason Wilde, ESPN legend John Anderson, and former Packer Brian Balaga. Here's Alex Strofe.
Yeah, away we go. The second hour, Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Gabe Neitzel on assignment tonight, so it is just 4 wide for hour number 2 of the program. Myself, Alex Strofe, ESPN legend John Anderson, the Super Bowl champion Brian Balaga, and our buddy, our teammate, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, the co-host of Wilde and Tausch. It doesn't look like he is wearing a full suit and tie like Micah Parsons, but joining us from the Wilde home studio is Jason Wilde.
Hello.
What's it? Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I just sort of, I don't know. I was expecting slightly more of a, hey, how's it going? Or whatever. That's what you usually do. Interestingly, so we have a legendary right tackle. We have a Sports Center legend.
Yep.
And then we have you. What are you legendary in?
Beer pong, maybe?
Ooh, okay. I'd like to hear more of that, not during a pregame program.
Okay, that's fair ugh. You asked.
A lot of people, that is the pregame program.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Jason Wilde is here. Jason, big return game for Micah Parsons. I liked the outfit, which you can see on Twitter. Rob Demovsky just tweeted out a video. What do you make of your conversations with him from the week, and what do you make of his return game to Dallas in AT&T Stadium?
Yeah, it's just another game.
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
bet.
That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another game. I mean, why are we making such a big deal out of this? It's just another game. It's good that he's going to get usage out of his suite at AT&T Stadium. Yeah. If you go by cost per usage, it's got to be a really expensive night for him. Since I mean, maybe he's found people to like rent it out for when, Garth Brooks plays there, or for some of the other home games. Maybe some of his old teammates want it or something. But I love the fact that they would not refund him after they traded him. Like it's dirty. Does that not epitomize Jerry Jones? And then I love the fact that he tried to downplay it, but that's the kind of stuff that if I was him would piss me off.
No, it's dirty because he has to then write a check to the Cowboys for that amount of money. Because it's normally direct. Right. It's normally taken out of your check, so he's got to cut a check to the Cowboys for that suite. It's dirty. It's absolutely filthy by Jerry Jones. Like, it's just, I mean, I want to like use really bad words to describe it, but like it's bad. Like, it's just bad.
I would get a dump, like a huge, like 18-wheeler full of pennies and dump them all on the front lawn of Jerry Jones's office. That's how I would pay my bill.
Well, here's a perfect example. Like, obviously, I had a suite in Green Bay, but Green Bay they do it actually very professionally, and they wait to see once the season starts, guys that have suites to lock those in for guys. Like, okay, the final 53 is done. Like, it's done. It's like they know no trades are being like. Then guys have their suites and it's done. So then they know, all right, he just didn't get moved, and now this guy has or he got traded and he has a suite. What do we do with this? Like, that doesn't happen. So there's one organization that doesn't do something really bad and mean to guys, and then the other one hand over your $500,000, Micah. You still got to pay for this suite. Like, that's just so. Gosh, that bothers me. That's just so bad. Like, it's just bad. Ugh.
I don't know how big it is, right? It probably holds a dozen, but I'd invite 4 painters, and that thing would be a different color by the time I left.
Yeah, I mean, do something, man.
There's
Like,
8,
it's just
9,
so
10
bad.
family. Then I'm bringing in 2 guys and a drop cloth, and that thing's going to be just whatever color. It's just not going to be blue and silver by the time I leave. Why are you shaking your head?
By the way, just to be clear, I'm not suggesting that we need to put together a GoFundMe page for him to pay off.
Right.
It's the principle of the thing. Okay, so I know $188 million. It's not
Probably
a lot of money to pay, but it's just so vindictive, right? And I hope it's not my job to root for the Packers, but it would be great if he had 5 sacks tonight. It'd be multiple triple teams to do it.
Yes.
And every time he does this, like, oh, look, he's pointing to the heavens. Actually, he's actually pointing to the box over there, to those people is what he's doing.
Right. Yeah. He's pointing to his $500,000 suite that he got to use once this year. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gosh, it makes me feel so bad.
What a great story.
Jason Wilde, what do I think of the Packers' offensive line? Am I troubled? Is it suspect? Am I frightened? You pick the adjective.
You should be all those things, right? You should be wishing that Brian Bulaga hadn't slimmed down to tight end size so they could have called him this week out of desperation. Because he's not – there are guys that are his age still in the league. And look, I would trust him even after all this time on the farm and coaching soccer and everything else. Because, look, they traded a 6th-round pick in 2027 for Darian Kennard. And they've basically tried to play everyone but Darian Kennard at right tackle, right? I mean, I was fooled for the Washington game because I thought on a short week, you're going to have a rookie 2nd-round pick who played 3 snaps in the Detroit game after the outcome had been decided. Like, had that been a regular week, I think we talked about this on a previous iteration of this show. Yeah, Brian knows this. You got a guy that you put in for the game when the injury happens, but then when you have a full week to prepare, you do something else, right? Now, the interesting thing about this week, and again, we're not allowed at the 11-on-11 periods anyway, so we didn't know how exactly Tucker Kraft had gotten injured the previous week. We don't know how Anthony Belton injured his ankle, but he did it in practice on Wednesday. So, look, they were never playing Zach Tom. Like, they tried to keep up the appearance, but you can't play 1 snap and then think, yeah, we should play him this week too. See if he can make it to 3 snaps before it's too painful, right? And so he was always going to be out. They gave Aaron Banks a doubtful designation. I don't know why, right? Like, come on, you got the bye next week. These are your 2 highest paid offensive linemen. You don't need to put them at risk again and have them suffer major injuries that sidelines them for months at a time. So neither of those guys were playing. But now Belton's not in the mix either. They're out of options. Like, they have to play Darian Kennard, long distance cousin of Dolly Parton at right tackle, and they have to play Jordan Morgan at left guard. And look, I have absolutely nothing against Jordan Morgan. Every one of my interactions with him, I've not talked to him very many times, right? He had the injury last year with the shoulder. I've probably talked to him a dozen times since they drafted him. But he doesn't make the playing another position look easy the way Zach Tom did and the way Elton Jenkins did. And Steno actually got up there with us on Thursday and said he may be better at it than both of them. And I didn't laugh, but I was like, that's very nice of you to say. I don't think you're telling the truth. So, again, he got the whole, I assume that Jordan Morgan got the full complement of left guard reps this week, and he will have prepared to play left guard. Because in fairness to him, if you moved him around on a week-to-week basis, like that one year where Elton played all 5 positions in a single season, and when Zach Tom, I think, started games at 3 of the 4 positions and played 4 of the 5 positions in one year, but it was like, in fairness to J-Mo, dude has played 4 positions, but with no consistency whatsoever. Yeah. He worked at left tackle in camp. Then they open the season. He rotates at right guard. Then they play him at left guard when Aaron Banks goes out the first time. Then they start him at right tackle or play him on the second snap at right tackle after Zach Tom goes out. And then Banks gets hurt again, so now he's got to go from bench to right tackle to left guard, all in like a 20-play span. So that's not exactly ideal for him. But the bottom line answer to John Anderson's question is, if the ghost of Jadeveon Clowney can be productive tonight, there are some guys that are probably ripe for the picking.
Did you see Jadeveon Clowney credited Kenny Clark with the reason he wanted to play in Dallas?
I did not see that.
He said that as soon as that trade went down, he told his agent that would be a good place to play alongside Kenny Clark, which I thought was interesting.
Well, Blue played with him. I've obviously covered all of his career right up until the time he got traded. And he's a really good player. Last year was obviously an anomaly for him. Played through the injury, which everyone respected. Didn't whine about it, which everyone respected. But I do think that it's probably good for him not to leave the Packers because he loved it here. He had that great line during the week about how he never came to work. Not one day did he come to work not happy to be part of that organization. But I do wonder how he felt last year when he wasn't playing true nose tackle, because I do think he's way, way, way more comfortable. He and I had that conversation earlier in camp. Little did I know that he'd be playing nose tackle for the Dallas Cowboys when we were having that conversation.
Yeah, here we are just a month later, and he's playing nose tackle for a different team.
Sorry about that, Alex. I was thinking, so we get Parsons comes in, we know what his talent is. To those of us that are not around it all the time, what did and I'm not saying these things can't also be replaced, but like Kenny Clark, we see his stats, we know his Pro Bowls, but like what did they lose as a teammate, as a guy in the locker room? Like what kind of guy was he that when you pull that guy out of there, what's lost there, Jason? And Blue.
So I'm regretting the angle I took on my Kenny Clark story for Channel 3000 because I wanted to hit on everything, but what I should, because Strofe has heard me mention this already this week, I should have just led with the best quote I heard. We've all heard the saying, when Brian Bulaga becomes really good on the radio, or Alex Strofe, who I've been such an incredible mentor to, what do I say? I taught him everything he knows, right? He owes it to me. I taught him everything he knows. And what Kenny said, which was awesome, he said, talking about all those young tackles, those guys, I taught them everything I know. And I thought, what a really neat little twist of, hey, I poured into them every single piece of information I could. And I love those guys and I miss those guys. And I thought that's what being a mentor is pouring everything you know and then watching them succeed and not trying to take credit for it, which, Strofe, once you start succeeding, man, I promise I won't take credit for it.
I don't believe you, first off. And second off, that was well done. We will continue to talk Packers, Cowboys, and all the injuries. We're about a half an hour away from the official injury report, though we can probably go ahead and assume that 3 of their top 7 linemen will be out, considering 2 of them already ruled out. But we will get to that in about a half an hour. We'll play yes or no at some point, but we will continue to preview this one with Jason Wilde here in the Jason Wilde Hour of Green Bay Game Day. It is game day, and if you're heading up to Green Bay anytime soon, make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company just over the border in Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour from Green Bay. It's award-winning, locally owned, organically grown, the best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD. That's findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. The Jason Wilde Hour of Green Bay Game Day continues right after this.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee times starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
For over 40 years, the Boucher Automotive Group is proud to have served Wisconsin with dedication and heart, one customer at a time. But we knew we could do even more.
In the last 5 years, we've expanded across the state, adding new locations, new brands, and new ways to better serve you.
At Boucher, growth isn't always about being bigger. It's about being better. Better selection, better service, better experiences.
Where you're going matters, and Boucher is driven to get you there. The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. John Anderson, Brian Balag, Alex Stroff with you. It is the My Mentor Hour of Green Bay Game Day. Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, is here. As we get ready for Packers-Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, Packers looking to go into the bye week at 3-1. And I said this earlier, but I truly have convinced myself the bye is coming at the right time. But curious from Brian Balaga's perspective, I imagine mid-season is kind of the ideal bye, like week 8, week 9, as a player, or do you not really pay attention to that?
Oh no, I pay attention. I pay. It's probably one of the first things I always looked at when the schedule got released. It's like you look at obviously where you open. The holiday games because Green Bay always gets holiday games. So where do those fall? And are you home? Are you away? And then the bye week. And then obviously the Thursday night games too.
Sure.
Are those home or away? Right, like that's a big deal because you prefer them at home. Like Green Bay had this, had Washington already, which is fantastic. And week 2 early is really good. But early bye week is bad, really bad. I get maybe for this offensive line right now, it's good for them because they got guys banged up and they need time off. But it's so early. Like this thing is a long haul, and we all think, right? We all think this team is a team that can go deep into this season, right? Like they can make a long push, and you would want them to have a bye week around like week 9 or 10 or somewhere in that ballpark to get a rest, like a hard like break right in the middle of this thing. And having it right now, it's like it just got going. Like right, you just start to get some momentum. We always before it turned to 17 games, as Jason would remember, McCarthy's 4 quarters of the season. You get done with a quarter, you got done with the first quarter of the season, and here's a bye week. It's like, what do you do? We just played 4 games and it's a bye week already. Like you just get into a flow of it, and it's done. So I don't love this bye week, but it is what it is. You got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. They do got guys banged up, right? I mean, and really from the offensive line standpoint, like you look at the team, obviously, like I'm sure guys have like minor things, as Jason probably would know better, but they're fairly healthy right now, right? Knocking on wood, obviously. They're fairly in good shape, and you hate to slow down any momentum that they're gaining as a team if they go and take care of business against Dallas and do what they need to do with a bye week. Like it's so early. So yeah, bad timing, but nothing they can do about it.
Nothing I can do about it. I've just convinced myself, like I said, because of how banged up the offensive line is. But you're probably right, and obviously you have more expertise on that subject than me. John, why do you keep laughing at me? What I do now?
Well, because whenever you say you've convinced yourself, just like you've convinced yourself now that instead of going 17-0, they'll go 16-1.
No,
right? Like that's the kind of stuff you've talked yourself into.
I will say this: it took me a couple days to get over the Browns loss, but I'm now at a point where you can't go 14-3 without the 3, John.
Sure. Okay. So I didn't realize 14-3. I didn't realize you had them being that much of a disaster this season.
Yeah, really bad year, down year for them.
So that's all. I'm just curious as to when it is. But, listen, I'm old enough to remember when the NFL tried to buy 2 bye weeks one year. I think it was just a 1-year thing where they tried that. And you wonder with 17 games and their effort to always increase revenue and the package, if that doesn't come back. Because, it's amazing how when they have limited inventory, the inventory doesn't change, I guess, until you add a 17th game. Or maybe if they finally get that 18th game in there, I think it goes because that they can stretch those games again, and I think that comes back, which doesn't help anybody right now in week 5 or whatever the heck. I'm troubled that they have the bye week the same week as the University of Missouri. I will have no football to watch. That's troubling next weekend. But in this league with those guys, like I just don't know if there's ever a bad time to have time off, even if you're 4 weeks in, right? Like that is a hard thing when they go through there. But given the importance of the offensive linemen, I'd rather if it's here now and it gets those guys in shape, I'll take it over trying to repair some other places later in the year.
I guess here's my concern, right? Like, I don't know if a week off is going to, I don't know if Zach Tom's going to be ready in a week.
I don't either.
Right. But if that's the case, he misses the same number of games, right? What's the difference if he misses the next? They don't have a bye for 3 weeks, and then they have a bye week. He's still, if there's 3 games in a month and you miss them all, it doesn't matter where the bye week is. You still missed them. You still missed 3 games.
I mean, he's missing. He doesn't miss a game, obviously, with the bye, which is productive. But like with this injury, like an oblique injury, like we talked about it last week when we were discussing this, like you need that to fully heal. Like that needs to heal. Like, because the minute you go back out there and you strain and it's not healed, it's going to happen again. So like what the timetable is on that, I really don't know. I
was
wasn't
just
around anyone.
If Jason, have we heard anything from a timetable perspective?
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, if you're going to say you talked yourself into thinking this was a good time for the bye week, stop. Don't call me your mentor when we come back from the next one. Because let's be honest, like to John's point, yeah, it means one less game that Zach Tom misses while trying to get healthy, but it doesn't do Jaden Reed any good. Like wherever the bye falls, he's going to miss that week, right? He's not going to be back till December probably. So it doesn't help him. And if you remember in 2022, they chose not to take the bye after the London trip, and then they got the crap kicked out of them by Robert Saleh's Jets, and they didn't have a bye until there were 4 games left in the season, which was great to get it then, because then you really need one, but you've gone 13 games without one. Secondly, to Brian's point, you got the early Thursday night game, which is awesome, because you haven't beaten up your body with 8 games before you play that Thursday nighter to get the mini bye. But now, 2 weeks later, you got your bye? That doesn't help you. You'd love to get it at week 8 or 9, so then you have that early mini bye, then you got a bye, then you got another mini bye after you play on Thanksgiving. So the schedule is not great for them, obviously. Mm-hmm. In terms of Zach Tom's timeline, so not that this is about me or my children, but Maddie, our oldest, has a very similar injury, which has ended her cross-country season, per Doc McKenzie. And there are some similarities. It's in the same area of the hip. Hers is in the bone. It's not great, but she's going to be fine with rest. But that's the whole point. And I don't think he violated any HIPAA laws by saying that's what Zach Tom needs too, is rest. And it'll resolve itself if you let it rest. Now, again, he did not get into the specifics because he's a professional who follows the Hippocratic Oath. But in talking with Zach, it sure sounds to me like the muscle is at least partially torn off the bone. And while they don't feel the need to surgically reattach it, that they believe it will reattach with time. And they don't think the one snap he played made it worse, I was told. So that's good that he was smart enough to say, oh my God, that hurts. I can't play any longer. Because, again, you can't replicate. And I believe it was Myles Garrett on the first play. And so whoever was playing patty cake with him in 11-on-11 on Friday before that game was not Myles Garretting at full speed at him. So probably should have known better. Remember, Matt LaFleur said that players have a say-so. I'm sure there were times when Brian Bulaga played when he shouldn't have because he's a tough guy. But this was a mistake. We all see it's a mistake now. I would think that the earliest you will see Zach Tom, I suppose it's possible you see him for the Bengals. That's who they have coming out of the bye, right?
That's correct. Yep.
But I will be surprised. Now, then again, I was surprised when he trotted out there in Cleveland, and then he showed why I was surprised, because that was a terrible idea.
I'm still confused how he got cleared.
I think it's a gray area type of injury where it's a pain tolerance deal. It's not like if it was ripped clear off the bone, but that's the other issue with a hip area injury, right? Like you can't cast it. Like, you break your hand, you put a club on it, and you pound on the defensive lineman that's coming at you. Mm-hmm. You use it as a weapon, right? You get a knee injury. Brian Bulaga, 2014, they go out to Seattle, play completely afraid of the Seahawks, ignore one half of the field that Richard Sherman is on. They lose Brian Bulaga to a knee injury. He misses one game against the Jets, and he puts on a brace and tapes it up, and he's out there, and he never misses another game, even though he would probably admit all these years later that playing the following week after just missing one game was pushing the envelope. So guys do this, and they want to allow guys to have ownership of their decisions. But I'll tell you this, I am sure that Doc McKenzie and Mike Ryan, who's kind of he's segueing into become the new Doc McKenzie after this year, or maybe he's already done it. I am quite certain they were like, look, if you think you can go, we'll let you go, but we don't think this is a great idea. Because I'm sure there were some conversations over the years with other offensive linemen, or maybe even the former quarterback who won in Dublin today, where they told him, you shouldn't play, and he said, blank you, I'm playing. And unfortunately for Zach Tom, blank you, I'm playing was followed by, ow!
Yeah. Normally that's that's the thing. Like, when players, like, I mean, that's the thing. They're going to listen to players, right? Like, if a player tells the doc, like, based on imaging and all that, like, if the player says, like, hey, I think I can do it, they're going to listen to the player, right? And based on imaging and scans, they probably did that. Now, it's not going to be the same going forward. It's not going to be the same. So Zach's like, there's a trust factor there too now. Like, that's like, yeah, there was a lot of times that I probably should not have, but there was a trust factor that I can go out there and do it and got through a game. And there's trust that is built through those things. Like, but like, yeah, you can't go out there in a play and go down. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's, like, yeah, I mean, you can't say that he was clear. Like, it's no one's mistake that he was cleared. It's not like there was a mistake. Like, it wasn't like someone, oh gosh, Zach's out there and we've totally forgot. Like there wasn't a mistake made.
Hey, what is he doing out there?
We're
supposed to be inactive.
Yeah, well, what do you mean, dude?
How did he get out there?
How did he get his helmet and pads? Like, that didn't happen. Like, there was probably a very long discussion between a couple of parties, and you know, he clearly told everyone that he felt good enough to go, and that was the discussion, and he was wrong. Yes, and he was wrong, and that probably won't happen again.
No, I would guess not. No. Only the insight you'll get here on Green Bay Game Day. Jason Wilde, John Anderson, Brian Bulaga, Alex Strofe with you. Gritty Gold fans, it is game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi, whether it's Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced in cola. Bacardi is your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately. Drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume. Well. We have reached my favorite part of the program. Yes or no with Jason Wilde is coming up right after this.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at Potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Cold plunges, better sleep, a gym buddy. How do you know what has the biggest impact for an active body and mind? With BetterHelp, you can talk with real, qualified therapists, not AI. With a 4.9-star rating, BetterHelp understands mental wellness shouldn't be tougher than a workout. Their therapists can figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a cold plunge. Visit BetterHelp.com, code TIMEOUT for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com, code TIMEOUT.
Hi, this is Michelle Vasco, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. So you filed your return and owe the IRS money you can't pay, or you haven't filed a return for years because you are afraid you will owe the IRS. Whether it is income taxes, payroll taxes, or sales tax, we can help. Often we can file back tax returns and get your refund. We negotiate payment plans with the IRS or settle with the IRS for sometimes pennies on the dollar. We get the interest and penalties reduced, which are many times greater than the original tax owed because so much time has passed. Stop the sleepless nights and worrying they will wipe out your bank account and garnish your wages. Your situation will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Make every day extraordinary with something special from Wisconsin. From artisan cheeses to fresh produce to maple syrup, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection's Something Special from Wisconsin program is proud to work with member businesses that certify their Wisconsin-made and processed products. Look for the red and yellow sticker and visit somethingspecialfromwisconsin.com to find member businesses and products made with care, quality, and love. Sponsored by Wisconsin DATCP.
Home buyers are raving about their experiences with the Citizens Bank mortgage team.
Aaron helped me get pre-approved really fast, like before the open house even started.
I called Devin so many times with questions, and he always answered.
It's more than a mortgage. It's your future. And at Citizens Bank, we make it personal. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/mortgage. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender. NMLS 746419.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. ESPN legend John Anderson is here, as are two of his bobbleheads in the Wilde home studio. Jason Wilde here, Brian Balaga here, Alex Strofe here with you. 3 John Andersons on the stream. That was good. One of those is commemorating your Little League championship in Green Bay, correct?
That was the Babe Ruth City Championship. Yes, Babe Ruth.
Is that not Little League?
Trying to think. Yeah, no, it's Babe Ruth. Little League's below that. Then you go up to Babe Ruth.
Got it.
And I'm trying to think because we were the West Side champs. I'm trying to think when we played because I grew up on the hard scrabble West Side. I'm trying to think it was on the East Side. I think it was the Odd Fellows is who we beat out of there. The Odd Fellows Lodge. I don't remember. A long time ago. I'm more intrigued that behind Jason he actually has Hermie and Yukon Cornelius. That has caught my eye behind him way more than the bobbleheads. Is that he's got guys from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer back there.
I don't want to say it's a hoarding situation, but you've got a lot of stuff behind you.
Yeah, it's more for sound. It really absorbs the sound. That's really my theory. Instead of using, that.
You sound like me
trying
to
type material.
You sound like me trying to convince myself a Week 5 bye is a good thing.
No, I know what this is. This is all the stuff Paula doesn't want anywhere else in the house. Quickly though, so we can get some more insight.
Yep.
Have you been to Higher Love?
I have not been, no.
So I saw it. The girls played a golf tournament, and Menominee is right across the river from Marinette, and as I was driving around Menominee, because I'd never been there before, I saw the sign and thought of you. What a great partner. So I did not stop in. I had to get to the golf course, clearly.
Yes.
But very cool that they are part of the program.
Indeed. Homer has been several times, it's to my understanding. So you should ask him on the postgame show.
I will do that, if
but
I remember.
I was able to answer that question with a yes or a no. We'll see if these three are able to answer my questions with a yes or a no right now in a game we call Yes or No.
Will today be the day there are black and white answers from our most respected journalist?
Possibly. I think we shouldn't be greedy. Maybe. You would certainly hope so.
It's time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
Yeah, it's my favorite time of the show every week because the temperature in the room just drops dramatically. John Anderson contemplates walking out of the room every time we play. Jason doesn't give me an answer. And Brian Bulaga, I think, has been converted to the dark side. Last year, he answered my questions. I don't believe he has this year yet. So we will try.
I think I did. I think I answered one.
Maybe.
You maybe did. All right, I want to play a piece of audio before our first yes or no question, which is from Jason Wilde in the locker room talking to Packers center Elton Jenkins earlier in the week.
How do you feel about how you've played? I feel like I play like honestly. I feel like I can play way better. A lot of things. It's just little small detail, little things that I can fix overall. But honestly, I feel like I play like and I definitely got to play better moving forward.
Our order will be Jason, John, Brian for this first question. Yes or no, Elton Jenkins is the answer at center for the Green Bay Packers.
Well, we have to figure out if he has indeed played like poopy or not. And I think Adam Stenovich chose to answer it diplomatically when it came to the Browns game. He said, and I quote, "Yeah, I had a bad game." So I don't think that he agrees with the adjective, or maybe that's a noun. I guess it's a simile. But I don't think he played as poorly as we think he might have in the first two games. Now, all that said, again, Brian Bulaga, very self-aware. What does Brian Bulaga say about playing guard? He couldn't play guard. In Elton Jenkins' case, I thought, because what follows the fun, I played like beep, is him talking about how, and this was really insightful, and I will turn it over to Brian after John goes, of course, and that is, he said he's way too aggressive in pass protection, and you can't be as aggressive as a center as you are as a guard. And so he would have defensive linemen tell him, hey, you're more aggressive in pass pro than anybody we go against, like when he would talk in practice or when he talked to guys in games. And he kept doing that at center, and that has obviously hurt him. So he is learning how to be more adept at playing center and pass protecting from that position.
John Anderson.
If not him, then who? So I don't know if that's the right answer or not. If you don't have a second answer to the question, a reasonable, what is it? If you complain about a problem, make sure you have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have a solution, then why am I worried about the question? He's the guy that's there. So I don't know.
Journalism
Right?
101. Very well done by John Anderson. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think you can't judge how he's going to be after 3 games. That's my first opinion on it. I mean, we all know he can do it. I thought it was going to be a struggle early on based on really no training camp. He wasn't there in the offseason program. So, like, all this kind of equates to this happening. I mean, he had two home games, and I knew 2 home games are going to be easy for him. His head's up. He's able to hear everything. He's able to communicate. It's really just snapping a ball and doing things. It's when you get on the road and your head has to go between your legs and you can't hear things as well. And the communication part, everything goes silent, right? Like, and that's when becoming a center becomes very difficult. And your head comes up as the ball's being snapped and there's movement and the picture changes from when you first thought, when your head went down. It becomes difficult, and it takes time to get used to that, right? Elton's used to telling the center when his head's between his legs, hey, the linebacker plussed over, the safety dropped down. He's used to telling the center that. Now he's having to hear that and trust that. And it's a different ball game. And who knows if he's even being told that? I have no idea. He may not even be being told that right now. So, I have no idea. So, yes, to me he is, because as John said as well, if it's not him, who's it going to be? I don't know. It's not going to be anybody there right now. So, to me, yes, he is the answer. Yes.
My answer to this question is also yes. I just thought the back and forth between him and Jason earlier in the week was worth replaying here on Green Bay Game Day. Question 2, the Lions hosted Cleveland today, and they won by 24 points, 34-10. The Lions 3-1 on the season. Yes or no, Jason Wilde, the Packers should still be considered top dog in the NFC North?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I will say this about today's game, though. They had some short fields because they turned the Browns over. And the Green Bay Packers, and you know me, I loved the Ball King. Oh, they've installed a siren in the meeting room. And they've got 2 takeaways through 3 games. Both interceptions, by the way. Haven't forced a fumble yet. So the difference between blowing them out, other than the Lions were playing at home and the Packers were playing them on the road, is the fact that they turned them over. And the Packers haven't been able to do that to any of their opponents. They've got 2 takeaways. And one of them, let's be honest, if he's really doing what he's supposed to do, and I love Xavier McKinney, he was great on Thursday telling me that we were acting after going 2-0, like we won the Super Bowl. He was phenomenal about that. But technically, it was 4th down. He should have batted that ball down instead of intercepting it, because they might have had a chance at a field goal at the end of the half, because they would have had the ball near midfield. So really, they have one good turnover takeaway, and it was the one where Evan Williams has the pick off of a Micah Parsons pressure. That, to me, is a major shortcoming from their defense that they need to rectify starting tonight.
Okay. Good non-answer from Jason Wilde. John Anderson, yes or no, the Packers should still be considered top dog in the North?
When were they considered the top dog in the North?
I would guess after week 1 and 2, when they were 2-0 with wins over teams that had been in the NFC Championship game each of the last 2 years.
I don't know that they were. I don't know that I consider them that then, so I don't know that I can make a proper diagnosis, a proper response to that question off what I believe to be as a false premise. I don't, they beat the Lions. They look good. They did it at home, but that doesn't mean, great. That was, you're up. But I don't know that made them the favorites. They were not the favorite.
Schooled by the professor in this segment.
I just don't think that was.
That's the first time we've gotten that is a false premise. That's a new one we can add to the non-yes or no answers. I'm sorry, I decline to answer based on the false premise that you have suggested.
I have faith I'm going to get an answer from Brian Bulaga.
Don't do it, Brian!
I don't. First of all, the thing is, who did declare them the top dog? To be the top dog, you have to get crowned the top dog. You have to get that crown back. So until you get that back, you are not the top dog of the NFC North. So just because you beat Detroit, they beat Detroit. They beat Detroit the other year in Detroit
on Thanksgiving.
That doesn't mean anything, right? Last time I checked, at least. So, listen, the wins were impressive. It's a good sign that the team is going in the direction that we all expect this team to go. Mm-hmm. But to take that title, you have to take that title. You got to go. It doesn't happen in 2 weeks. It takes a whole season, and at the end of the season, when you have one of those first 4 seeds, that shows that you've taken that top dog of the North, and we'll see at the end of the season if that's what they have, and that's really what it is. You can't say that now.
All right, false premise. I will take the bye week to reevaluate. Rapid fire final one. Jason Wilde, yes or no? You had fun playing yes or no?
It was okay.
John Anderson.
Well, I mean, compared to taking a cheese grater to my craft, sure.
Brian Balaga.
Yeah, I always enjoy this. This is great. I always enjoy it. I like the responses
Get on the program,
from Jason
Balaga.
and Dave.
Stop kowtowing to Alex Strofe, giving him straight answers. You're ruining it.
I love the responses from Jason and John. I like the creativeness of how you can work around the answer. That's what I enjoy the most. So, yeah, I enjoy this one.
All right, very good.
All right, now I'll take that back.
we will get to the injury report coming up next, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. But, hey, our team at the Tundra Trio for home games has a bunch of cocktails and bar services provided from our friends at V Private Bar Services, the go-to team behind our bar hospitality. They bring the flavor, the flair, and the experience that takes our game day to the next level. Raise the bar for your next event and book V Private Bar Services today. Injury report is next. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Even your pickiest eater will say yes to this. Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Perfect on their own with a favorite dipping sauce, or stacked in one of our 2 new subs. Classic crispy chicken or bold Buffalo Ranch crispy chicken. Made with quality chicken and served on our fresh baked bread. It's a mealtime win for kids and grown-ups. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
At Boucher, we don't just sell cars, we build careers.
For over 45 years, Boucher has been Wisconsin's trusted name in automotive excellence, and today we're growing faster than ever.
Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting out, Boucher is hiring across all departments: sales, service, finance, and more.
Enjoy industry-leading pay, unbeatable benefits, paid training, and a workplace that truly values you. Join the Boucher family, where we ride with you every mile, and your future rides with us. Apply today at Boucher.com.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. It didn't seem like it when the season started, but we've watched the crew become a great team. We're just as proud of the team here at Annex. I'll put the Annex team up against anyone when it comes to what we do: investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. If that's what you're looking for, let's talk soon. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. In the meantime, let's enjoy championship baseball in Milwaukee.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics, all included in your membership. And right now, if you're not ready to commit to a full membership, you can try it all with their special trial offer. 30 days for $30. That's 1 full month of unlimited play, leagues, and clinics for only $30. Check it out at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Welcome back. Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, John Anderson, Brian Balaga, Jason Wilde with you. Time now to look at the injury report for the Packers and the Cowboys, which is also brought to you by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for more information. That is orthowisconsin.com. Let's start with the Packers side of things. No big stunners here. All three offensive linemen we expected to be out are out. Zach Tom, Aaron Banks, Anthony Belton are all out of this game. So you will see a lot of Jordan Morgan. You will see a lot of Darian Kennard on the Packers offensive line tonight. The two others, cornerback Kamal Haddon and defensive lineman Warren Brinson, which means safety / cornerback / Mr. Do-It-All Javon Bullard is active after leaving last week's game in Cleveland due to a concussion. He has cleared the concussion protocol and is medically cleared for tonight's game in Dallas, which is good news, Jason.
Yeah. I just want to correct you. Banks is active. Brent Banks. Brent Banks.
Oh. Good one.
Come on.
Good one.
Play fair.
Hey, played in Nebraska. Spent his last year at Rice. Got his MBA while he was there. I spent time talking to him because you never know the way this season is going.
It's true.
Who knows? He could be starting at right tackle.
You never know. You do. I mean, you don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we're going to see the starting lineup and who's going to be pronouncing their name in college when the starting lineup. Do they even have that? Does Kennard? Are they going to have him say his name in college?
He might be wearing an Eagles jersey, depending on when they filmed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe
Who knows?
Maybe they'll just run back Brian Bulaga, Iowa.
I mean, it is infamous.
It is infamous.
It is.
No shocks on the Cowboys side either. We already knew CeeDee Lamb and first-round pick, the guard Tyler Booker, would be out. Jaden Blue, Matthew Golden's high school teammate, also inactive, has not been active yet this season for the Cowboys, is also out of this one. So they're missing two offensive linemen, and their top receiver are the Dallas Cowboys, which for a team that's looked pretty bad through 3 weeks, probably not going to look a whole lot better tonight, which is a good opportunity for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that's. You miss CeeDee Lamb. That takes away a lot from that offense. CeeDee Lamb is. You watch him play. I get he had his drops in week 1, right? Listen, everyone has drops. That's part of it. But you watch him play. He's really, really good. he's really,
sure
really
is.
good. And not having him on the field is a big deal, because now what Green Bay's defense can do is who can? So they have George Pickens. So now you can really frustrate George Pickens, and when you frustrate George Pickens, things happen when you frustrate George Pickens. So that should be fun to watch. At least I
think
enjoy
CeeDee's
watching
good.
that.
CeeDee's good, but he's also good for a drop at the wrong time.
It's true.
All the time.
Yeah.
Right? You could probably find a half dozen of those. That said, when you talk
plenty
about
in week 1.
hard to cover, so far in these 3 weeks, is the biggest surprise is that the corners are better than we all thought, and the offensive line has struggled more than I thought. I would say those are the two things that have shocked me most so far this season. Anybody?
I would have expected the offensive line to play better, but I also would have expected them to do so with their guys, right?
Right.
I watched Anthony Belton in camp, and Brian and I talked about it on Wilde and Tausch on one of the many days that Tausch was out. Anthony Belton looked like not a project. That's too strong of a phrase. But it looked like he kind of had a ways to go in preseason. And then suddenly he's played a lot, and now you're wishing you had him tonight. So that kind of tells you where their depth is there. The corners, there's no question that they've played well. They have also not been challenged as much as I would expect, right? I mean, they did a nice job against Detroit. Seemed to me Jaden Daniels had a really tough night. 4 days later, didn't really get Terry McLaurin involved. Obviously, the Packers had a lot to do with that. But, for instance, Keyshawn Nixon, he had 5 pass breakups in that game, and none of them were to Terry McLaurin. So that feels like a little bit on the Commanders' game planning, too, that might have factored in there. So, but, look, I watched Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers against the Vikings this morning from Dublin. And it looks to me like unless they're going to make a trade and roll Kirk Cousins' old bones out there, Justin Jefferson's going to be a hell of a lot easier to cover because they don't have anybody that can get him the damn football.
Yeah.
So, I'm eager to see. I've always been a Keyshawn Nixon believer. I love guys that are counted out and doubted, and every time they're given something else to do, they succeed. And he is the epitome of that. From not even playing and only on special teams when he got here, to a kick returner, to a nickel guy, to a starting corner, now to a number 1 corner. I am curious if he ever gets to the point where they have him travel. That is the one thing I'm curious about.
Jason, I guess it just was. I just say it just wasn't ever something that this defense has showed. Right. In its form when I played against it in other D coordinators that have used it
and
effectively.
You don't have zone. You don't have guys travel in zone, and they play mostly zone, right, Brian?
Yeah, they play cover 3, and normally guys don't travel in zone. I mean, normally, right? I mean, I haven't seen it, but like Sherman stayed on one side, right? I mean, Sherman stayed one side, and that's normally what they do, and they try to take away a side of the field with their best corner, and then they rotate safeties to the other side, and that's how good defenses take things away. That's normally, and then when you have pass rushers, they get home really fast and they force you to do bad things with the ball. That's what happens.
Jason, a couple things to get to before we let you go. I have a Lakeland University trivia question for you that Brian, John, and I discussed with Rob Domofsky earlier. Trivia brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. Whether you're just starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University, experience it your way. November 14th, 1999, Texas Stadium. It was Packers-Cowboys. The Cowboys won that football game, quarterbacked by Jason Garrett. To the best of your knowledge, were you there?
Oh, I definitely was there. Yep.
Who played the post-game concert?
Shania Twain.
Nailed it. Good memory.
Wow.
Not only that, great story. So they recorded it for Thanksgiving, and then they played it on Thanksgiving, and it was supposed to be plausibly live because it was at Texas Stadium, but they recorded it a week ahead of time. But we're all writing up in the press box, and they screwed something up with the audio. And so they got like 7 songs into the show, and they had to start at the beginning all over again. And I said, that don't impress me much.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I wondered whose bed my boots had been under. Not my proudest journalism moment, because what I chose to do with my game story in the Wisconsin State Journal the next morning was I used Shania Twain's songs to describe multiple things that occurred in the game.
How
3-time sports writer of the year. 3 times.
At that point, I had won 0. It was my first season as the primary beat writer. Hey, how do you learn? You experiment. And then when you fail, like they did against the Browns last week, you learn from it. I have never done another, hey, Coldplay is playing after the game. Here are all their greatest hits and how they apply to the Packers win.
Well, Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Wilde and Tausch, you are still the one, Jason. Thank you for the time as always.
That was well done. That was very sneaky. You've got a bright future in this business.
How much time
I've taught you everything I know.
We still got an hour left,
Top
John.
of the hour, do we have to go to 7:20?
We will go to about 7:05, so a little under an hour to go.
All right. Because I miss Carrie Underwood singing. My gosh, I've been waiting all day. So,
all right. Like, is it time for a break? Like, good Lord.
It's actually well past time for a break, which we will do right now. Green Bay Game Day, we bid adieu to Jason, Wilde, John, Brian, and I continue with you right after this on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guaranteed choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have, or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. You see, Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. That's right, whether you're walking all day or even just standing, Arch Fit Skechers slip-ins have the perfect sweet spot of support to give you comfort like you've never felt before. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. No hands needed. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. If you haven't tried it, you are truly missing out. And Arch Fit Skechers slip-ins come in practically every style you can imagine. Athletic shoes for your workout, casual sneakers for weekend errands, dress shoes for the office, even boots for those brisk, cool days. Make every step feel like a dream and try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. September is here and the kids are back in school, vacations are winding down, and for a lot of us that means one thing: time to refocus on the house. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit, and to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years, so no interest and no pressure. Don't wait for the first freeze to realize your windows aren't cutting it. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to book your free estimate today. You'll be ahead of the game, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Make every day extraordinary with something special from Wisconsin. From artisan cheeses to fresh produce to maple syrup, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection's Something Special from Wisconsin program is proud to work with member businesses that certify their Wisconsin-made and processed products. Look for the red and yellow sticker and visit somethingspecialfromwisconsin.com to find member businesses and products made with care, quality, and love. Sponsored by Wisconsin DATCP.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's finally game day.
6, good protection, pass wide open, making the catch and getting into Washington territory. Tucker Kraft pulls his way down to the 20-yard line.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
What's the fake? Pass caught. Touchdown. Green Bay, Romeo Dobbs.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside Gabe Neitzel, ESPN legend John Anderson, and former Packer Brian Balaga. Here's Alex Strove.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls, in hour 3. Green Bay Game Day presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Shania Twain is ruining Brian Bulaga's day. Max Crosby is ruining Caleb Williams' day. Patrick Mahomes is ruining Ravens fans' day. And the world just keeps on spinning. Chiefs lead the Ravens 37-19 under the 2-minute warning. Now, Bears have the ball on the 2-yard line. It's first and goal. They're down 5 with 1:39 to go, 24-19 in that one as the Bears look to regain the lead and beat the Raiders. I will keep you posted on that one. And then the other 2 afternoon games have gone final. Rams topped the Colts 27-20. Both of those teams now 3-1. And the Jags beat the Niners 26-21. Both of those teams are 3-1. Those are your afternoon scores. It is Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Blue, it's gotten very dark where you are. If you're watching us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, is that because we kept bringing up Shania Twain and you just needed to sit in a dark hole?
No, I just got to turn on my office light. Let me turn that on.
Okay,
it's getting dark here. It's getting dark here in Florida.
I mean, it's getting dark here too. But yeah, I guess you are an hour. You are an hour ahead. John Anderson is with us. Yeah. It's that, and we're only a few weeks away from daylight savings. Just let me add that as well. So it's going to get dark at 4 p.m. pretty soon. John Anderson, how are you feeling an hour from kickoff?
As always, I have great faith in my team, and I'm terrified of everything that could possibly happen and go wrong.
Perfect summary of your fandom, I think. I think you nailed it in about 10 words.
Yeah, have it all. We're ready to go. Look at last week. There's no reason that they should not win this game. They are the better team.
Yep.
But and I always tell people, I don't want. I never root for the best team to win. I want my team to win. Sometimes those are the one and the same. But I have no interest in the best team winning. I want my team to win.
You say terrified of everything that could go wrong. What pops to your mind first? If I ask you what that would be, what's the number one thing you're worried about?
The offensive line can't block anybody, both in the running and the passing game, and that Dak Prescott. If you just looked at that guy's stats, you'd swear he was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And yet somehow he manages to lose a ton of games and has never really won a big one. But he's there to make things interesting every Sunday, right? He is the one guy that keeps him involved. There are times I'm like, that guy's never won anything. And they've paid him way too much money over his career. And yet if he wasn't there, they literally would be a 3-13 outfit every year. I don't know what your wins over replacement player would be, but I think in that position with that organization, his WAR is pretty high because I don't know that, and I realize Cooper Rush got some minutes today there for Baltimore. Yeah. But, that's the thing. I never quite know how to gauge what I think of Dak Prescott. He's 1-5 against the Packers. and yet he manages to make every damn game interesting. He makes plays that you're by all right, like you thought you had that SOB, and nope, he's still there throwing, and you can't get him off the field. So that's the thing. The offensive line scares me a little bit. Or can they hold up? And then Dak just somehow like I said, he'll make it so that they will have a possession at the end of the game to tie the game, because he just doesn't every game.
The Cowboys 0-3 when CeeDee Lamb misses games. Their offense averages about 13 points per game when CeeDee Lamb is not on the field. Does that give you any more confidence?
No, because like I said, as good as CD is, I just assume he'll drop one in a big spot for me.
That's true.
And that I never – I argue with my son on that all the time. My son, by the way, who was at the game, he just sent me a picture of he and his buddy outside Texas Stadium. One is wearing his Reed jersey, and he's wearing his Micah Parsons. So there's just a lot of ones standing out in front of him.
Is that a vacation? Does he live near Dallas? What's the story there?
Right now, he lives upstairs.
Okay.
So he's just for a little while longer. Got his first job in television this week. Starts this week on Wednesday. Very excited about that for him. But right here in Columbia, even so, it's good. But they.
So he'll be staying upstairs for a while.
Just long enough. We're going to save a little rent, maybe a little money for the car insurance. Then we'll bolt out. Good for him. So it's I don't know. They just the Cowboys are something. They're kind of a scary opponent, despite the fact that the Packers have, what is it, like 11 out of 12? It's something ridiculous.
I think it's 11 out of 12. Yeah, I think you nailed it.
By like that, Yeah. So
they've owned this rivalry in the 21st century.
And by the way, I tell people all that the one that bothers me most, because now here in Central Missouri, and is there still almost the Chiefs have risen, but the Cowboys fans reach up into this point all the time. And I always tell them, did Dak drop the ball, or did Dez drop the ball? No, it was a catch. I said, you're right. If he was playing in my backyard, that we would have called that a catch, right? I don't think any kid in any's backyard. So, but they played in the NFL, so it wasn't. But, oh, by the way, you realize Aaron Rodgers beat you in 32 seconds with one throw. He would have had 2 minutes plus. Like that game, you weren't any more winning that game than fly. So go ahead. I'll give you Dez's catch. You were going to lose anyway. So that irritates me with those guys. Blue, were you on the field for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you guys would have had 2.5 minutes left, something like it was. That was like, are you kidding?
Yeah. I think we had over 3 minutes and all timeouts. So I mean, if we needed a touchdown, we would go get a touchdown. There was no questions.
Brian, are you aware? Are you aware of your record against the Cowboys in your career with the Packers?
Yeah, we lost once at home. We got blown out, and that was the same year we went down and beat them in Dallas in the playoffs.
That is correct. 2016, Dak Prescott's first start in the rivalry. The Cowboys beat you at Lambeau Field in 2016. 30-16 was the final score. You went 7-1 in your career against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
And John's sitting here and worrying.
Yeah. No, I mean, we played really well against it.
That's a good point.
He's inactive.
We could use him tonight. Yeah. We could use him tonight.
I am inactive. No, we there was something about playing him. I mean, we got we got Wade Phillips fired. I think we got Jason Garrett fired. We got a couple of Cowboys coaches fired. I know that for sure.
Well, we know Jerry Jones hates losing to the Packers. It was in that documentary that came out this summer. It was the greatest loss they've ever had when the Packers went a couple of years ago to Dallas and whooped them in the wild card round. I mean, he just hates losing to the Packers. And now, not only does he have the opportunity to lose to the Packers tonight, he's the opportunity to lose to a player he traded to the Packers tonight in Micah Parsons. And obviously, we know how petty that relationship is.
Yeah, it's just. And it's funny, because I think it's for him, it's branding, right? I mean, it's all branding for him, right? Like, because Green Bay is such an iconic brand, and he wants his to be the most iconic brand. And unfortunately, one brand has been better where it counts most, and that's on the field, right? I mean, that's how it's been. And obviously with the Super Bowls when he really had nothing to do with it besides cutting the checks, that's what he that's what he wants it to be now, and it's not going to be that way because the guys that made that go, he got rid of them. I mean, the documentary tells it all. It's actually funny. But this rivalry's it's not really a rivalry. It's kind of like the Bears one. You can't call it rivalries when they're one way. You just can't call them that.
But help us out, though, because we know what the Bears means in that rivalry, and the Vikings are in there. Like, what's the feel of this game? Does it have a little different feel when you go out there? How does it feel compared to maybe those other two that we really equate with? Nobody likes the Vikings, and the Bears go back to the dawn of time. Is there a different feel for this thing when you go out there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever we played them, it felt a little something extra. And to be honest with you, ever since that 14 playoff loss, that we beat them at home in that playoff game, they thought they were the best team in the NFL at that point in time. When we beat them at home, and the Dez catch and everything like that, the games ratcheted up. They were very physical. There was a lot of chatter in the games. There was a lot of hype up to those games since that playoff game. So yeah, I would say, I mean, they were always fine up to that point. I mean, it was always Packers Cowboys, but since 2014, after that playoff game, it's been intense games. They've been very intense, very physical, a lot of points, high scoring, a lot of drama to them, obviously. So yeah, I would say it's pretty fun rivalry for Packers fans. For Packers fans, it's been a fun rivalry, not as much Cowboys fans, though, unfortunately.
Well, a fan base that often doesn't have a lot of fun is the Chicago Bears fan base. However, they are having fun tonight as a blocked field goal with 33 seconds left. Looks like the Bears will secure a 1-point victory in Las Vegas, 25-24, just a couple of kneel downs with the Raiders only having one timeout remaining. So that one looks like it will go final. Bears 25, Raiders 24. The Bears make it 2 in a row, advance to 2-2 on the season. Brian Balaga, John Anderson, Alex Strofe with you. We will take a look at our best bets. We will take a look at our Gruber Law Office's one call. We will give you some final thoughts ahead of Packers Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. That is all still ahead. But first, I got to tell you about my friends over at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code GKB. Good Karma Brands. Good Kick, Brandon, however you want to look at it. GKB. To get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code GKB. $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Tonight, I'm looking at Romeo Dobbs to have more than 40.5 receiving yards. Jake Ferguson, the Wisconsin product, to have less than 6 receptions. Emmanuel Wilson for more than 4.5 rushing yards. And I think tonight is the night Matthew Golden gets his first NFL touchdown. I have him at more than half of a rush or receiving touchdown. That is over at Prize Picks, 13.5x on that one at Prize Picks. Use code GKB at download. Our best bets, our one call, are coming up still ahead on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's football season, and that means it's time to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, all natural and so smooth it's criminal. Try the award-winning Blanco, Reposado, and Yeho, and the new high-proof Plata 47. Ask for El Bandito Yankee at your favorite bar or restaurant, and buy it today at Woodman's and Festival Foods. And for tailgates, recipes, and more places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Well, you and I, we make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to cash in this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app, use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The grill is hot, the crowd is loud, and the flavor? That's all Coops Mustard. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For over 125 years, Coops has been the MVP of game day eats with 14 bold flavors that make every brat, burger, and pretzel a championship bite. Because Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. The kind that turns tailgates into traditions and touchdowns into taste bud celebrations. This football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Stroh, Super Bowl champion Brian Balaga, ESPN legend John Anderson with you. I had a Packers-Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Packers looking to get their third win of the season, make it 3-1 before their bye week next week. So the Packers had a field goal blocked last week. The Bears just blocked a field goal to win a game. There was like 3 blocked field goals at the end of games last week within 10 minutes of each other. You guys are both much smarter than me. Can you give me any explanation what's up with all the blocked field goals? Is there a rule change or something I missed? What is going on in the NFL through the first couple of weeks?
To me, it's I'd have to go back and look. I mean, it's a breakdown in protection, and there is a way to go about it, right? I mean, there is a way to have extremely, like, let's see here. I'm watching so that's off the edge. The Bears one's off the edge. I have it up on my iPad right now. So that's like just a really bad job by the wing. And like, for example, what Zook did and a lot of the special teams guys team that we did when I was at Green Bay, they put me and big guy and like Mercedes at the wings because none of the edge guys would rush around us or even want to come near us because we would just like swat them down. And so like Mason never got any pressure around the edges. So like Mason didn't like pressure around the edge. That got him uncomfortable. He didn't like guys diving at his feet. He didn't mind seeing it up the middle. He hated it around the edge. So he put bigger guys on the outside. So we stopped it coming around the edge. Like there's certain ways to do it and like sound up your protection. Now the downside is if there's a fumble or a fire, you have a lineman running a route, but like, do you see that often happening? No, not really.
Yeah.
You'd rather have sound protection than what if the 1 in 100 chance that your offensive lineman has to run around, in a fire drill that's what we call in case there's a snap fumble, then it doesn't happen. But a lot of the times there's, protection breakdowns and, guys get loose in protection and they get a little bit lazy or they duck their heads and guys are able to jump through gaps. And sometimes starting offensive linemen aren't even in field goal protection. It's a lot of backup guys and it's trickier. D linemen are in there and D linemen aren't really offensive linemen, so it's not always the most sound thing. And, when there's 5 guys rushing aside defensive linemen on normally 1 or 2 gaps, there's pressure points.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of them already this year. And it's not a good sign for field goal units at this point in time.
It's funny because last week I was out at the station that I'm helping at, the NBC, and I said, we should just do something on the number of field goals that have been blocked. It was ridiculous. In addition to old Big in there in Philly running his back. And until this one that you described, Brian, off the edge, all of them have been guys that just collapsed the middle and just came through and, had some guy. So, and I had on my list today of things to talk about, other than you see the big circle there in pink is the O-line.
Yes.
Was we have a special teams issue because McManus is I get that last year only missed 1 and, listen, that's way better than what we had. But it appears like it's a protection thing because the operation all looks good. Nobody's fumbling snaps. Nobody looked like they had to get it down late. And, the mechanics of it seem to be fine. It's just people are somehow blowing up the offensive line and getting through. Yep. But it is something that has been super noticeable the last couple of weeks. And it's noticeable in the Packers. Now, some of that I thought is karma. Anytime you play for a field goal is a bad deal. You had it rolling, and why not just keep pounding it down there? I hate when you do that. And so some of that I thought was a little, football karma for settling for a field goal in that situation. But anymore, sorry, guys, you've made the standard that if it's inside the 50, I feel like I'm writing down 3. That's good. Heck, it's gotten to be anything inside of 60 now seems to be something that we should just etch in there, Well,
with this Cowboys kicker, it is.
Yeah, true.
How about that? Right? Can I tell you how much I just like the kickoff rules that you get it out to the 35? That's 1 pass and you can kick. Russell Wilson made that throw. I turned it around to the 2 people sitting there. I'm like, this game will go to overtime because they're going to kick it off. They'll take it to 35. He'll throw 1 pass, and this guy, and as it is, they threw 1 pass and he got to run it for 3 yards. And then that swinger got out there and kicked it from 60 some odd plus.
That guy is Brandon Aubrey, who you're referring to. He is an alien, man. He is an unbelievable kicker.
But I feel like you should have to have some sort of scoring drive. And, that's a short field when you give it to those guys,
Yep.
Like you're at the 35 with that cat, you literally have to get 15 yards and you can take a sweat.
I think we need to start we need to start a new segment on the show called Old Man Yells at Clouds. And it's just John Anderson talking about what he dislikes about sports today.
No. I just think that takes a little bit out of it.
I agree with you for the record. I hate it.
And that kind of thing. I'm not, if it's going to be the old man, it's like, how come you guys don't do 2-a-days anymore? And, a lot of up downs and are puking after practice. But the game itself, I just think that their efforts to make I don't know what was wrong with kicking in the end zone and taking it out to the 20. Mm-hmm. They've loosened the passing rules enough. You can throw it. You can move it up and down. And I don't know. I just think they've shifted that a little too far to get it out at the 30, 35. So then if you're not in what was it last week? Was it Thursday where the guy didn't get it inside the 20, so they took it out to the 40 and they kicked it right down there,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's too much to keep track of. Kick it in the end zone, and if you don't want to take it, you're at the 20. And if you want to run it out, good. But I'm not the guy that's wrestling with the insurance premiums and the lawsuits, so.
Very good.
I get it.
Very good from John Anderson.
I'm here for player safety.
Brian Bulaga, Alex Strofe with you. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Coming up next, we've got a few best bets tonight presented by the Island Resort and Casino. We will look at those. We will also each make our Gruber Law Offices one prediction we have for the game tonight. And, of course, we'll wrap up the show after that with our game predictions and final thoughts ahead of Packers Cowboys on Sunday Night Football on NBC tonight. That is all still ahead. Best bet, one call, coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Come catch the final battle of the regular season when the Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. We're celebrating the best fans in the game on Saturday, the 27th at Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Toyota. Plus, if you're one of the first 30,000 fans through the gates, you'll take home a Brewers tumbler giveaway too, presented by Quick Trip. Come close out the regular season with the crew. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
You're on the list for Macy's Fall VIP Sale. That means you're invited to save big on this season's top designer looks at prices you'll love. Like an extra 30% off Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, Hugo Boss, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance from Estee Lauder, Lancome, and so many others. This only happens a few times a year. Don't miss the Fall VIP Sale. Today, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Even your pickiest eater will say yes to this. Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Perfect on their own with a favorite dipping sauce, or stacked in one of our 2 new subs. Classic crispy chicken or bold Buffalo Ranch crispy chicken. Made with quality chicken and served on our fresh baked bread. It's a mealtime win for kids and grown-ups. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Game Day presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I'm Alex Stroh, 50 from the Gruber Law Office. One Call That's All studio in downtown Milwaukee. The Professor John Anderson is here. The Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga, the Super Bowl champion, is here. You hear both of them throughout the week on the Homer Hour from weekdays from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee. It's Packers Cowboys tonight from AT&T Stadium. The Packers are 6.5-point favorites on the road in Dallas, looking to get to 3-1 prior to the bye week coming up next week. So we've got to look at our best bet, which I've got two to run past you guys because I think these are I like free money, and when I look at something and say, hey, that's free money, I think we got some free money tonight. Hey, fall golf season is here at the Island Resort and Casino. Tee off amid stunning autumn scenery, then enjoy top-tier dining, relaxing spot time, and non-stop casino action. Fall golf rates are underway. Plan now at islandresortgolf.com. That's islandresortgolf.com. You may have heard me say this a bit earlier. I think tonight's the night for Matthew Golden's first career touchdown. An anytime touchdown, he is plus 220. So if you bet $100, you would make $220 on Matthew Golden. Their defense is bad. I think Jordan Love's going to have the opportunity to sling this thing around a little bit. And it's now week 4. I think everybody, including Matthew Golden and maybe even Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, are itching to get Matthew Golden in the end zone. I think tonight's the night, boys.
I mean, again, I think we did this on yes or no last weekend. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's right up there with the Kickoffs, right up there with the heroes. This is he's playing the old saw. He's hoping hard.
Yeah, like maybe he will, maybe he won't. Like, would I like to see him get a touchdown? Yes, but like I just don't know. Like, and that's it's tricky with this offense because Love likes to deal it around so much, and we know in the red zone he looks for Kraft and he looks for Dobbs, and he obviously we run the football a lot down there. So it's so tricky until we start to see what this offense looks like without Reed, and we didn't really get a good look at it against Cleveland. We just didn't. I mean, let's be real. It didn't look too clean. So until we see what it looks like without Reed and how Golden looks like in it, without him and how he's utilized and used and how much of the ball he sees, it's hard for me to say, right? Like, it's hard for me to say because, like, we know who his red zone targets are. Like, those are the guys. Those are the 3 that see it down in the red zone. Right. So it's hard. It's hard for me to say yes on that. It's hard for me.
I'm with you. He's got when they get in the red zone, they got a formula and it works.
It does.
And that means, okay, can you throw something with the ball in the air 15, 20 yards, get him deep? That means you got to protect him back there to do it, even though the guy's quick. And I don't know that they're going to have a lot of that by design early in the game plan, right? That would just be that would not be smart game plan.
I just feel like, and maybe
hopefully we'll see more Wildcat though. Jeepers LaFleur, what are you doing? Just because you're smart doesn't have to you don't have to prove it to me all the time, brother. Sometimes just go ahead and just get the first down.
What they do with Golden last week against Cleveland, they did like a jet sweep. They ran it right and then they ran it left. Like, it would work much better the opposite direction, and I think twice in like 4 plays. Sometimes they just try stuff. I think sometimes he outsmarts himself because he is, and we would all agree, he's a very smart play caller and a very smart offensive mind. But I think sometimes he outsmarts himself.
What is the phrase? Shoot by half.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and let's be real. Nothing was working against Cleveland.
No, it wasn't.
You're trying to find a spark somewhere. And what was working was, what Cleveland is super aggressive. The ends were crashing. So the edges were vulnerable if you were able to get, if you were able to get the defensive ends to crash down, the edges were vulnerable. So, like, that was what he was trying to get. And it didn't come to fruition as much as he was trying. I mean, I get it. But, like, again, like, I hope we see some shots down the field to him. Do those result in touchdowns? I don't know, but the opportunities will be there to take shots. But, like, I still think we have to see what his role is going to be now that Reed is out for a substantial amount of time, and how they work Golden into more of a possession-based role. Like once he starts to become more of a possession-based role and not just a home run hitter, right? Like home run hitters, yeah, they're fun to watch. They make a big play, but getting touchdowns week in and week out, it's not going to happen. The possession-based guys continually are lighting up the scoreboard. That's what they do, right? I mean, you look at the possession-based guys around the league, St. Brown, the Devontaes, the Puka, like those guys light up the scoreboards because they're possession-based guys. So that's what I'm hoping to see from Golden, is that he starts to become more of that possession-based guy that can hit the home run. He can hit the home run, but he's getting the ball more and more often.
The NFL's leader in sacks entering today was Rashawn Gary, 4.5 sacks. To have at least a half of a sack, he is plus 220. Minus 105. I was looking at LVN. But minus 105, it's essentially even money. I think he gets at least half a sack tonight. That's my other best bet, is Rashawn Gary looks to add on to his, at least entering today, league-leading 4.5 sacks here in week number 4. Let's get to our one call, which is presented by Gruber Law Offices. Gruber Law Offices has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee at Gruber until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people and state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. John Anderson, you are the furthest left on my screen as I view it on YouTube. So I'm going to give you the floor first. What is your one call for Packers Cowboys?
Well, I really liked your Emmanuel Wilson for 4.5 yards. I'm like, let's do that. Let's get him 2 carries and give me my money.
I saw that on Prize Picks, and I was like, well, that seems easy.
Can I get you that? Yeah, that would be it. And I mentioned about Dak, like you talked about Gary and the sack. I feel like every game Dak should be sacked 7 times, and the end he's sacked twice. Like he just gets away from stuff because at some point, right? He's a big boy. He's thick and he can take care of himself and those things. But I like them to get him twice, which doesn't seem like a ton, but I think against him, that's a good number to try and get him on the ground. And I am praying for 2 turnovers. If they get 2 sacks and 2 turnovers, they win by 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. If they get those 2 things to happen. Or maybe I should just keep it 2-2-2. But I think if they get those 2 things to happen, they can win comfortably. They get to Dak a little bit. If they can take it away twice, that always gums up the game. They should be fine.
Love it. Brian Balaga, why don't you go ahead with your one call?
And the 4.5, by the way. Don't forget the 4.5 yards for Wilson.
Yeah, correct. That's your one call. He has at least 5 yards rushing.
Yeah, at least 5 yards. That's a good one. So I'm kind of looking through stuff, and I mean, I know that it's not like I see Dobbs at. I mean, I think do you have the same Dobbs at over 3.5 receptions at plus 105? That's what I have.
That's what I have as well.
I mean, I like that. Like I think that is. I mean, I think 4 catches for Dobbs. Like I think that's something that against this Cowboys defense, we all know that when quarterbacks play the Cowboys, they have the highest passer rating that week. So I could see Dobbs having 4 catches. I mean, I don't know why that would. And then, I get Kraft is the same, but he's at minus 160. But like to me, I think 4 catches for Dobbs is. I mean, to me, it seems pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it depends how often they're throwing the ball, right? If they go up quickly, early, and by a lot, maybe they're running the ball a lot more in the second half. But, I could see a scenario which, when you look at, I don't want to get ahead of myself, as I never do, but as I often do, excuse me. But you look at the NFC Offensive Player of the Week each of the first 3 weeks. All right, week 1, it was J.J. McCarthy who beat the Bears. Week 2, it was Jared Goff who beat the Bears. Last week, it was Caleb Williams who beat the Cowboys. Why I bring all those names up is those are the other 3 NFC North quarterbacks who have already won NFC Offensive Player of the Week through 3 weeks. This is the worst defense in the league, the worst pass defense in the league, to your point, Brian. I know you make fun of me, John, for calling it a get-right game, but as long as Jordan Love can stay upright, I think he's going to be flinging this thing quite a bit tonight, especially early on. And I think he could make a legitimate push to, to your point on Romeo Doubs, 4 catches, Tucker Kraft, 4 catches, spread the love to Matthew Golden a little bit as they continue to get him acclimated. I think this could be a really big Jordan Love night. So my one call, I'm going to go not 2, but 3 touchdown passes for the quarterback tonight. I think he has a big game.
Ooh, baby.
Bold.
I'd like to go bold. I think I'm 0 for 4 on my one calls, or 0 for 3, excuse me. But hey, you got to find a win somewhere, and I think 3 touchdown passes for Love might be what gets me there. So those are our one calls presented by Gruber Law Offices. Coming up on the other side, we give our final thoughts, predictions, and what to watch for. It's Packers Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Kickoff just under a half an hour away from AT&T Stadium. The Micah Parsons revenge game. We give our final thoughts coming up next. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal & Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal & Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee times starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guaranteed choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic. Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water. Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular. The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman. Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist, the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's. We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you looking for ways to give back to your local community? Use volunteerwisconsin.org to find opportunities to volunteer your time with organizations making a difference near you. As we celebrate United Ways Month, we're also celebrating you. Visit volunteerwisconsin.org or get in touch with your local United Way or Volunteer Center to find out more about local opportunities to get involved. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
What up? I got nice skin here with me.
Well, I've done this whole radio thing long enough to know when things go wrong or I have bad information. It's never my fault. It's the producer's fault. Will Summers is our producer on Green Bay Game Day, and he just informed me in the commercial break that we actually have 2 segments left. Now, I think Will's really good at his job. He's, fresh college graduate, first full-time job. He's doing a great job for us. The thing I will hold against him is the fact that he is a Chicago Bears fan. So while I have been saying for the last hour that we only have a few segments left, instead of correcting me and telling me I was wrong, he was just rubbing in the fact that the Bears blocked a field goal to beat the Raiders today. So...
Balog and I are done at 7:05, so I don't know exactly what's happening because that's what you told us. So I'm
willing to let you go. I'm willing to let you go, and then from 7:09 to 7:16, me and Will will discuss who we think the halftime performer of the Super Bowl will be, as that was just announced. It will be announced at halftime of Packers Cowboys. The Super Bowl halftime show will be announced tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but Balaga, I know you're a big Super Bowl halftime show guy. I know we've talked about this in the past before. I know you have a very passionate opinion on who it should be in 2026.
Mm-hmm. I'm stoked. Can't wait. Can't wait to hear.
J.A., I've never talked to you about this. I know I have talked to Brian about this before. He couldn't give any damns about who plays the halftime show at the Super Bowl. That's when he leaves the room.
Right.
Do you pay attention to halftime shows?
I do not tune into the game for the halftime show. I am always amazed at how it gets large. They need more and more people. And I've always believed that the more backup singers you have, the better chance you have that the lead singer is not going to deliver. And so, and I have nothing against,
amazing.
Green Bay, but they had 2,000 people up there. What? Just no, I don't. I think it's a little
the best part of John Anderson.
I don't need it.
The best part of John Anderson is he has an opinion on literally everything. You have an opinion on everything, without fail.
You just asked about the halftime show. Don't you have an opinion on the halftime show?
I'll watch it. I usually enjoy it. That's about it. But also, that's bathroom refill and refill my cup and plate time also.
Yeah. All I'm saying is you can't help but notice now that it takes 10 minutes to set up the stage, 4 to cut it down, and they got 20 minutes in there, and there's 1,000 people.
Metallica or Miley Cyrus is my prediction. All right, let's get back to the game now. Micah Parsons'
Let's
revenge.
Just go back to up with people every year. That's what we need.
I'm just going to ignore you and move on to the game. Micah Parsons returns to Dallas. We've talked quite a bit about it, but we haven't actually talked about the on-the-field impact. Despite the loss last week, it is still super evident, no matter how you watch it, where you watch it, what you watch, the impact he makes for this Packers defense. They lost last week, but the defense did not lose them that game one bit. They are terrific through 3 weeks. And now add just a little bit of extra juice as he goes back to the place he used to call home, Brian. This should be a big one for Micah Parsons, the Packers' defensive star.
Yeah, I mean, the defense in general did not take a week off last week. They continued on just as they had the first 2 weeks. And I don't expect anything different this evening. And Micah probably is going to have a night tonight, I would guess, and there's going to be a little extra motivation from him. And guys, I mean, normally when you go back to a team, it's normally through free agency. This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
This was drawn out through the summer and training camp. And even since he was traded, Jerry still continues to talk, and he still continues to say Jerry Jones things like, oh, well, there's a way to play Micah, hence why we hadn't won a Super Bowl. Like, dude, like, what are you, like, stop talking. Like, seriously, like, stop. Like, just, like, you got to stop talking. Like, you can't help yourself. He just can't help himself. So, yeah, I mean, there's a little more to this than just playing your old team, I think, for him. I think there's some personal things to this game for Micah Parsons. So I think he's going to have a fine evening tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun to watch.
John, what are you expecting out of number one?
I'll be disappointed if he doesn't, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think he'll be super stoked. Sometimes that can work against you, right? You get out there and you get so jacked up, you kind of get a rush of blood to your head and you forget what you're supposed to be doing. I worry about that a little. Like, he just gets so excited to get to the quarterback that the running back just went by him. And, you forget. That happens to our boy Quay sometimes, right? Gets a little rush of blood to his head,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, there went the guy that he was supposed to get that went right by him. But I think there's a chance both against the motivation he has against his team. You want to make the people up in your suite very happy, and he's just, listen, no matter who you play, he's usually one of the best three guys on the field. And so tonight, I think he'll have extra incentive to do that. And you just hope that in those cases you can produce, right? Because you can lay it all out there, and then you can lose 13-10 in Cleveland. So, it's all set there, right? As they say, the table is set. You just hope that performance is, as always, I hope he lives up to the grand things we have him, we ascribe to him, That's why I would say my predictions are never wrong. I can't help it if they don't live up to the high hopes and the confidence I have in them. That's not my
straight. Absolutely. No doubt about that. All right, one final break. I don't know if Brian and John will be here when we return, but we will make our game predictions and some final thoughts on Packers Cowboys Sunday Night Football coming up in just about 10 minutes. That is next on Green Bay Game Day.
Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Game day in Green Bay means friends, food, football, and fun. But first, make sure your ride looks the part. Whether you're rolling up to the tailgate, headed to the watch party, or just cruising around town, a clean car sets the tone for victory. At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you'll get a fast, premium shine every time. Plus free vacuums and detailing tools keep things looking spotless inside and out. With 13 locations and growing across Wisconsin, it's easy to swing through your way to the action. Kick off game day the right way. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have, or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics, all included in your membership. And right now, if you're not ready to commit to a full membership, you can try it all with their special trial offer. 30 days for $30. That's 1 full month of unlimited play, leagues, and clinics for only $30. Check it out at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved. Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary. Just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip. Mamma mia! Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian. Toppings piled high, screaming loud, always delicious.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Just over 5 minutes to go on Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, John Anderson, Brian Bulaga with you. Our producer is Will Summers as we wrap up our pregame show ahead of Packers Cowboys Sunday night football. First Sunday night football game of the season for the Packers on prime time. You can watch it on NBC.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, you are welcome. Just a reminder, you can check in with Homer, Jason Wilde, Mark Tauscher, and Gary Ellerson following the game. Going to be a late one tonight on Green Bay Game Night, reacting to whatever goes down in Dallas. So, John, you give me a hard time for being a homer and usually pretty optimistic, but as you might recall last year, I ride a wave, man. I'm a roller coaster of emotions when it comes to my Green Bay Packers. And as we inch closer and closer to kickoff in this one, I'm feeling like everybody's predicting this game's going to be a blowout. Which makes me think, like we saw between New Orleans and Buffalo today, it wasn't a blowout. I think the Packers are going to win, but I'm starting to think it's going to be closer than I thought it was going to be initially.
Isn't the spread 6.5?
Spread 6.5.
Everybody? I feel like my parents asking me when I go to a party and I say everybody's going to be there. So who's everybody?
So on NBC, everybody's predicting a blowout. If you read the graphic we put out on social media, which I know you're not really on, of all of our ESPN Wisconsin personalities predicting the game, everybody's predicting like a 10 to 15 to 20-point win for Green Bay. Now, granted, I think a lot of us made that prediction on Tuesday. Reading the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube stream, Chef Eddie's usually pessimistic, says 31-14. Braden says 37-17. Albert says 51-24 the Packers are going to win on YouTube.
I mean, 50 burger.
Yeah, that number one, that ain't happening. As bad as that Cowboys defense is, we're not seeing a 50 burger. We might see a 30 burger, as Mark Tauscher was saying all week, which I don't know if that constitutes a burger or not, but neither here nor there. So I guess I'm just a little uncomfortable with seeing these big win score predictions. Would love to see it. Would love a sweat-free game. I don't think that's what we're getting. So, John, with all that said, I'm going to give you the floor. What are you predicting tonight between the Packers and the Cowboys?
So, right, all the casinos are built on favorites and the overs. So we're going to go under just a little, 24-21. And if I'm betting man, I'll take the candy on the other side for the Cowboys. But I think the Packers win, but I think it's 24-21. I think that'll be a lot for their offense to generate, given the state of that line. Dak will make a couple of plays that'll get in there, and they're gonna need a help. They're gonna need a turnover or two. to come through. But I like it 24-21. Like I said, if they take it from him twice and they get Dak and they make him really uncomfortable, then I think they could make more of it. But if we learned anything last week, that it's hard to win games in the National Football League.
Hey, yeah, sure is. Sure is. And a guy that played in a lot of NFL football games is Brian Bulaga. 24-21 says John Anderson. Brian, what say you?
I'm going to go because I think it's going to be my knowing how bad their defense is. I want to say more, but for some reason it's telling me it's not going to be. I'm going to go 21-14 Green Bay, 7-point game. They win by a touchdown. That's what I'm going to go with. 21-14.
So lower scoring than I anticipated also. That's not making me feel better, guys.
Now watch, it'll be that at the half, right?
Right.
Last week they put some points up and it was, a 10-zip game deep into the game,
So when I initially sent in my prediction, and we send ours in on Tuesday or Wednesday every week, I said 31-17. But I don't feel like that actually properly says what my feelings on this game are. So I'm going to change my initial prediction from earlier in the week, which is always good. Love sticking with your gut, which I'm not doing today. I'm closer to you guys. I think it's probably 21-17. I don't know if they cover tonight. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but we got a Kenny Clark revenge game. We've got that shredded offensive line, which obviously when I made this prediction, I didn't realize that Anthony Belton would also be out of action tonight. I think Mike has a big game. I think the defense has a big game, but I think it's just too close for comfort. And maybe there's maybe a kickoff touchdown, which I know John would love for Dallas, that they keep it close. I'm gonna go 21-17 is gonna be my score prediction. I think the Packers win, and we all think they win, but I think this is gonna be. I'm gonna be sweating it out on a Sunday night, I think.
So you've taken 10. You've docked them 10 points from Tuesday tonight.
I think the offensive line being as beat up as it is does not help Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love. While I still think we'll see some good plays and we'll see Matthew Golden's first touchdown, I think it's going to be a sweat one out, but hopefully I'm wrong on that.
I just need Emmanuel Wilson to get 5 yards, really.
Yes, you do.
My whole night's going to be fine. The rest of it, however it shakes out after that, we're good.
I know for a fact when Emmanuel Wilson inevitably hits 5 yards tonight, I will be getting a text from John Anderson. And that
I don't know though. Are you a guy that do you like the happy hedge? Do you sometimes go against him on the cover just because you're like, well, if I lose my money, the Packers win, and that'll make me way happier than the $20 I just lost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that I really believe in superstition or anything like that, but yes.
Sure.
Yes. And I definitely didn't wear this shirt because I wore it week 1 when they smoked the Lions. That's definitely not why I put that on this morning. So there you go. All right. Brian Bulaga, John Anderson, you guys are the best. We're going to give you a couple weeks off. We will return to action for the next road game, which I'm not even sure when that is. The week after the Bengals, I believe they're in Arizona. So I think we'll talk to you in mid-October. So enjoy your pumpkin patches. If I don't talk to you in the meantime, enjoy the bye week, and we'll get back at this thing in a couple of weeks. All right, fellas, thanks.
See you, brother.
Sounds good.
I'm sure we'll be texting during the game because John will have problems with the kickoff or something like that. So I'm look forward to those. Homer, Gary Ellerson, Mark Tauscher, Jason Wilde have you immediately following the game. As soon as the final whistle blows, those guys got you for Green Bay game night. And I'll be listening no matter what happens tonight. It's Packers, Cowboys. Enjoy the game. Go, Pack, go. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. From Green Bay when the Packers host the Bengals. Peace.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered.